What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Hot Toys Hotline Live, episode 137. Guys, Happy New Year. This is our first stream of 2026 officially. Sorry we were a little late. I am getting all this crap set up and, we're trying to get our tier lists all sorted out and figured out. So we're just chatting backstage. So thanks for being here, everybody. It's great to be back. It's great to have an exciting stream put together because not only are we going to talk about some interesting figures, but also we are going to be sharing our top 5 releases of 2025 that we have in hand. Of course, I put that stipulation on it because I think that's fair. I was telling Chris, Chris was like, well, I know this one's going to be good. I'm like, I get it. And I hate to keep the in-art Snape off of my list, but I don't have it in hand yet. And that in-art Snape could show up and something will be broken and it'll piss me off and then I'll take it off my list. You know what I mean? So I was like, let's keep it to stuff that we have in hand because then we know we're satisfied with it and we could solidify our opinions like, yep, this is everything I thought it was going to be. You know what I mean? So we're going to keep it to that. So top 5 releases and then top 5 announcements that we're looking forward to. That'll be at the end of the stream. Also, guys, I did not forget about the giveaways. If you guys entered the giveaways or if you're a channel member, which at some point when the fellas are sharing their opinions on some of these figures, I'll have to finish putting my wheel of names together for the channel members. I have the other one together for the YouTube comments, but yeah, so it's going to be exciting. Excited to give away some stuff. Excited to talk about and hear everybody's list. I did it in a way where, people didn't have to send me their list first because I didn't want to spoil it for me or anyone else on the panel. So I don't know anybody's list. So that's very exciting. We might not be doing it like a very professional way with photos up on the screen and everything, but I think it's more fun that way just because you're surprised by it. You know what I mean? So first and foremost, thanks to Fig and Collecting Madness, Chris, for being here. I appreciate you, fellas. Lane will be joining us very shortly as well. Our boy Mike was going to be joining us tonight, but for those of you who don't know, he's got a little one on the way very soon. So of course he's got to be a dad first and be with his family. So fingers crossed everything goes well with that, and I'm sure he'll be back with us very soon. But appreciate you for being here, fellas. I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's list, and especially. Yeah. Fig, you and I have been chatting about these figures all week, man. I've been dying to talk about this Spider-Man. I know I've been talking with everybody who loves the Raimi stuff about it, and I know everybody's thoughts for the most part, but curious to hear everybody in the chat. And guys, when we talk about the list, definitely we're going to go by honorable mention, top 5, top 4, you know what I mean? So feel free as we're doing it later to throw your answers in the mix because, that's what we're here for, not just to talk with us, we're talking with you guys too, so... but Fig, thanks for being here, bro. I appreciate you for making the time. And I had to have you on this one because I know we're always talking about how well these figures turn out, how happy we are with them, how dissatisfied we are with them. So I'm excited to hear your list, bro.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. It's always a pleasure to join you, my Maryland brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Guys, we're celebrating today. John Harbaugh has been let go officially. So we're a little noisemaker.
Go Birds.
We'll miss him, but we won't miss him. You know what I mean? We appreciate the time we had with him, and now it's time for someone else. But
may he rest in peace.
Yeah. But thanks for being here, and then Chris, thanks for making it. I know you had a long day at work, but I'm glad you're able to make it in your car at least, because I know this is like an exciting thing for you to do as well. Because same thing. We get these figures and we look at them with a fine-tooth comb and we dissect them and we decide what we like about them, what we don't like about them. So it's so hard, especially when you buy in the volume of figures that we buy and others buy. It's so hard to. I'm glad, because originally I told the guys maybe we'll do 10, and I was like, you know what, for time's sake and also for putting us on the spot, let's narrow it to 5, because that really makes you think. You're like, what did I think when I opened this figure, and then how often do I look at this figure? That's how I was kind of judging it. I was like, how many times have I touched this figure? How many times have I thought about my experience opening that figure? So it'll be fun for sure. I'm going to say what's up to everybody in the chat, and then we'll certainly get started. Fig Pozr saying what's up to everybody in the chat, because he is obviously streaming from his phone like Chris is. So when you're in StreamYard, you can't do anything else. So if you guys are saying what's up to him, he'll see, if he sees your comment, he'll say what's up, but I don't know if he can because he's in StreamYard. But if somebody's addressing Fig, I'll say something to him so he knows what you're saying. But we got Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare, aka now the Nightmare's Cave. What's up, Sean? Sean says hello there. Thanks for being here, my friend. We got my dude Peyton 38 in the house. Wasn't it Peyton 23 before? Why is it 38? Or am I tripping? I thought it was Peyton 23. But maybe when the YouTube name change thing happened, something got skewed there. But thanks for being here, my friend. Both Sean and him are moderators here. We appreciate you, my friend. Speaking of moderators, another hotline hottie and my dude Al. What's up, my friend? Al, I hope you're doing well. Al, this week I got my LPZZ Deathstroke. I know you saw me in the comments over on, I guess it would be last week I got it. And today, it hasn't been delivered yet, but it's supposed to be here any day now. That Sawtooth 112 scale Venom. And I saw Nick's Collectibles open it up, and it looked freaking amazing. So once I get off stream, I hope that it's sitting on my porch. Because those dudes that deliver for Kit, whatever courier he uses, they deliver like super late at night. It's crazy. But thanks for being here, bro. I appreciate you. Rejoining the hotline hotties. I appreciate you, my friend. You are too kind. Thank you so much for being here. My dude, Moose, in the house. The OG hotline hottie. What's up, my friend? Thanks for being here. He says, hello, community of collectors. Today I bought a Hugh Jackman Wolverine in acceptable condition for $230. What is acceptable, Moose? Is that like lightly flaking on the jacket? Like what are we deeming acceptable in the Moose scale? But congrats on that, my friend. Thanks for being here. He said, bro, trust me, I know that feeling. I had to update that card, bro. Put the wrong one on there, you know what I mean? Someone stole my credit card, I got to swap it. That's happened to me a few times, more than I'd like to admit. My dude Valk in the house. What's up, bro? Thanks for being here. Another hotline hottie and a moderator. Valk says, good afternoon, Connor and friends. Thanks for being here, bro. Always great to see you. Hope you're doing well. We got Pedro Lopez in the house, of course, followed by hashtag hotline confirm. What's up, my dude? Happy New Year to you as well. We got JB in the house. What's up, JB? Hope you're doing well, bro. Thanks for being here. Another hotline hottie. We got OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars. Thanks for being here, bro. He says, hey, everyone. OG fan, I was watching when I was doing my test spin on the wheel, I was watching your name go round and round, and I was like, man, it could be him. It could be OG that wins this one. Who knows? We got Tijuana Mike in the house. Another hotline hottie. What's up, Mike? Appreciate you for being here, my friend. He says, happy Tuesday, collectors. And Hulk, smash that like button. Yes, sir. And Hulk smash only if it's like the real Hulk, not Smart Hulk. We don't want no Smart Hulk, bro. We're getting our Hulk back. I think we are finally getting the real Hulk back. Fingers crossed they don't do us dirty on that again. We got Yomo in the house. Another hotline hottie and a moderator. What's up, my friend? I just know that Yomo's going to win a figure. Dude just wins everything. He is the luckiest dude around. So, guys,
luck of the Irish.
Right. If Yomo wins, it's not rigged. It's just his luck. Some people have weird superpowers, and that's Yomo's. His good luck. It's like Domino. He's just like Domino. He's just got the good luck.
He has a rabbit paw on his keychain.
Right, exactly. We got Christian Crosshair Cooper in the house. Another hotline hottie. What's up, my dude? Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you as always, bro. Christian's always sending me like the best, like either Star Wars memes or like compilations. There's all this random stuff that he finds on Instagram, and I'm like, dude, where does he find this stuff? What's up, my dude? Tim already dropping his list early. Tim, you'll have to repost this when we come back to our list because we're going to be doing it later towards the end of the stream. But that's a great list, dude. That Dr. Doom, I'm still waiting on mine because I think I still have it on a payment plan with Sideshow, so I'll get it eventually. But Tim, thanks for being here as always, my friend. I still don't have my Phantom of the Opera because I chose the cheaper route for shipping. I didn't want to pay an extra like $200 or whatever it was. We got One Adam 12 in the house. What's up, my friend? Another hotline hottie. I appreciate you for being here. We got Jason in the house. What's up, Jason? Another hotline hottie and another former only 112 collector and other things, now 1/6 because I enable him every chance I could get. Though he's certainly enabled me, him and Kaiju over on his stream, he certainly enabled me with the 112 stuff. So we're almost even, Jason, though I feel like you've probably spent a lot more money going to 1/6 scale than I have doing some 112 stuff. So thanks for being here, my friend. We got Red Priest in the house. What's up, Red Priest? We got Funky Cold Santa, another hotline hottie. Appreciate you. Thanks so much. Glad to be back. Excited to talk about some figures. We got 1/6 Chris in the house. What's up, Chris? Great to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. He said the new collector edition. Yeah, who cares about that? That's you won't even notice that once you throw it in your display. So that's a great deal for sure. It does, Jason. But as I continue to enable you more and more, it might not. It might kind of skew in my favor, but we'll see. But thanks for being here, guys. As always, if I miss any of your comments, definitely feel free to continue to say some stuff throughout the stream, and I'll catch your comments when I can, as always. But, guys, we're going to get started. Now, I'm gonna start because I just think this is too funny. I made a little meme on Instagram the other day, just talking about this figure. You'll get your rent when you fix this damn figure. you know. But in all seriousness, guys, you know how much, those who know me know how much I love my Raimi Spider-Man stuff. And you guys know I also have a custom Raimi figure from Riley and from Riley Lowe. And I'll pull it up here. There's a figure right here. Absolute beauty. Absolute beauty. Like, you guys know, this is like one of my favorite figures in my entire collection. And obviously, like, this is the No Way Home figure, customized, head sculpt from No Way Home, rooted hair, like the whole 9 yards, sweat on the face, right? So, right, and you know, Fig Pozr has this figure as well, so he can attest, like, it's beautiful, man. Like, the amount of attention to detail when it comes to accuracy that Riley put into it, like 2 years ago almost at this point, maybe 2 years ago, I don't know. Has it been that long? So when you see a figure like that, you know, you would expect that a company of Hot Toys caliber would get at least somewhat close to it. And I get it, it's custom, they're smaller runs. But, you know, Hot Toys has a tremendous amount of resources, and previously, 2 of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man figures they did were disappointing. And unfortunately with this one, I got to be honest with you, I think that they went the lazy route, unfortunately. You've got a lot of mistakes here. This kind of is giving me flashbacks of the Jungle Hunter Predator. And I want to say this before I get started on this. I hate to complain about this because I want to see more of this stuff, and I want to encourage Hot Toys to do things like this. But it's like a double-edged sword, right? It's like you see a figure that you've been wanting for so long for Hot Toys, you want to see Hot Toys do. And then when they do it, they don't put their best foot forward. And what you're seeing here is essentially like a bunch of reused parts from No Way Home. The sculpt itself is from the Black Suit Tobey figure. I don't particularly have a problem with that aspect. I actually think it works for this sculpt. I think it looks good. But it's just like, there's so many issues with it. Like the damage on the chest doesn't actually line up to how it looks in the film. They kind of took a creative liberty with it, which it's like, at the bare minimum, they could have done that, right? They could have recreated that. The amount of assets and everything they have access to, you would think that they would at least kind of go that far with it. So you got inconsistencies with the damage. The Spider logo is not the correct Spider logo for this film, for the first Spider-Man film. And, you know, some people would argue that doesn't matter. It's just a Spider logo. But, you know, people were making some, like, really funny memes where they were putting, like, Michael Keaton's bat symbol on, like, Christian Bale's suit. And that's like, kind of like, obviously that's an extreme example, but you get the point. Like, the Spider logo or the S, the Superman shield, or Batman's bat symbol, that is, like, the symbol of the character. Like, it's a symbol of hope for the people, the cities that they serve, you know, and like,
it's real important.
Right, Batman, you shine the signal in the sky when he's needed, you know what I mean? So it's like, to me, it's not going to be important to everybody, I get it, but to me, that is a detail that is important. It's front-facing. It's what there's merchandise where it's just the Spider logo, and you can have Andrew Garfield's Spider versus Tobey's Spider, and that's like, you know, you identify with your Spider-Man that way. So you get my point. And then on top of that, like, he's really skinny like he was in No Way Home, the older Tobey Maguire. There's not enough bulk in the body. The colors on the suit are like No Way Home. There's just a lot of, like, laziness, you know. And Black Suit, and I'll say my piece here, and then we'll get Chris and Fig's thoughts. But, like, the Black Suit Tobey, same case. When that first came out, there was a lot of issues. And shout out to Riley and Nick for constantly hounding in the comments, you know, fix Black Suit Tobey. They definitely made a difference, because that figure was considerably improved in the final with the added muscle shading. They beefed up the body a little bit more, though not enough. It still was a great improvement over the original. And again, with this one, it still suffers from the same problem. You got the butt crack mask seam, and it's really bad, dude. Like, it bothers me, because, you know, we got companies like Toy Stay, who are third-party companies, and they're making these masks that look incredible. And it's like, you wonder why they can't, like, maybe contract with those people like they do with sculptors to make head sculpts. Like, why can't they do that? And honestly, the truth of the matter is, I think it's just the way that they're making these masks is easy from a manufacturing standpoint. So they're always going to be like that. They're always going to be like that because whatever process they're using to make these masks, I think it's just easy for them. And it's very unfortunate. it's not as unsightly because you have kind of, you know, your sight is drawn to the sculpt itself and the damage on the face with this one, but it's still just not right. And again, I hate to complain about this because you know, the overall package is really cool. It's a cool figure. It's just not an accurate figure. It's a lazier figure from Hot Toys. So, you know, when we talk about the Temple of Doom Indiana Jones, you're going to see me perk up a lot more. But this is one that is so important to me, and I know it's important to Fig as well. And it's like very disappointing to see. Now, I'll say this, and I'll close my thoughts here. This is going to sell like crazy. It is going to sell like crazy. This is like one of the most liked Hot Toys posts in quite a while. It exploded. So it's going to sell very well. And I still think it's a cool figure. Again, it could have been a lot better. And, you know, there is a chance that they will update it. There's been a lot of criticism of it. And maybe you will get one of those update posts and they'll change some things. And I really hope for that because it's very much needed. And then one more thing that I want to say, as much as I think this base is super cool, that is the No Way Home glider with the Spider-Man 1 portrayal here with this figure. So another weird decision that is kind of lazy and, you know, lacking in attention of detail. So, Fig, I'll jump to you. I know I had kind of a long-winded, and I'm complaining a lot with this one, but it is what it is, bro. Like, it's lazy, bro. It's super lazy.
You're a diehard. It's understood, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Now it's your turn to shit on it.
Hey, I've been waiting, man. I didn't use the bathroom all day just for this. So look, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna start with a little pleasantry, saying that I'm thankful that a figure from the early 2000s is finally getting made. That's a big deal to me. I've been asking for that for God knows how long. I've been collecting, and it's a big deal that they did that. Like, who would have expected they touched Spider-Man 1? Like, sure, it sounds like something that they should be doing, but nothing pointed to them ever, like, kind of appreciating that era in any kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like thankful for that. But on the same side, it's like, this is the third Toby that I've seen them do in recent times. And every single time they're doing something to disrespect the figure. It's kind of like upsetting because I just seen the Andrew Garfield get treated with the utmost respect in his figure. And Toby can't get one. And arguably, Toby is way more iconic than Andrew. So when I think about that, it's like every Spider-Man that we've seen, including the 77 and Japanese Spider-Man, has been done justice. But Toby cannot be done justice. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, go ahead.
I can't believe I left that point out. By the way, what's up? Nick says, uh-oh. Nick, I should have made you a special guest so you could just sit here and go off on this figure. But we also got Calvin in the house. What's up, Calvin? Thanks for being here, bro. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody again who's just funneling in. But, bro, I couldn't have said it better myself, and I left out the fact that is something that was in my head, and we talked about this. And no shade to those who, like, prefer Andrew, but it's like, why did Andrew got the extreme makeover challenge, right? With the TASM 2 to the TASM 1, it's like such a huge difference, such a huge upgrade. By the way, we got Lane in here. What's up, Lane? So we got such a huge upgrade between the two, and then we go to this, and it's like, why? Like, Toby is already such a rare announcement. You know, this is what our third Toby now in years. You know, we've had 3, but it's been years and years. We've been waiting for good Toby figures, and yeah, man, it's just as a Toby fan, it's disrespectful, is what it is. And
it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna move us down here because I feel bad because Lane got covered up immediately as soon as he jumped in. But yeah, bro, it's just disrespectful to me. And again, I don't want to complain about it in the fact that, like you said, like we don't get enough early 2000s stuff. But it's like, why, dude? Why is it like when you have so many resources to make this good? And even if they do improve it later, like, you know, I gave the shout out to Nick and Riley earlier for getting Hot Toys to improve the black suit. It's like, we shouldn't have to do that. At least give us a breadcrumb of hope when you drop this and be like, okay, we did a lot of things right. There's some stuff that's wrong, but we'll fix it maybe later. We'll see.
Show us you care. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I just want to add one tiny thing real quick at the end, right? when considering this figure, there's a lot of inaccuracies, right? There's a lot of issues with it that people are claiming, including Nick and all types of people on social media, right? But my biggest thing is I see a lot of people on the opposite end saying boycott it, vote with your wallet. The scary thing on my side of things is, sure, I could do that, but what if that sends the wrong message to Hot Toys and they're like, oh, I guess they don't want anything from that era, and they're already ignoring that era. So that would be extra just for them to say we're not making anything from that era ever again. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a weird balance. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's a double-edged sword. It's like you don't want to complain about it because you want your early 2000s X-Men, your Fox X-Men stuff, and you want Daredevil and things like that. But it's like, and again, I will say this figure is gonna sell like crazy regardless because it is there's not a vast majority of people out there that care about ultimate accuracy versus like just the representation of a character they love. And I can appreciate that. Not everybody is in this hobby for the same reasons. We all do things differently. And so for those of you guys, I want to say this first and foremost, like for those of you guys that are happy with this figure, this is not to like crap on you for being happy with it. Because if you're happy with it, like that's all that matters. You know what I mean? But for those of us, and I blame Nick 100%. I blame this guy because I told him when the black suit first came out and he started like really getting me to think about it. I was like, bro, you turned me into a Raimi Spider-Man snob. You did. And I was like that with some other stuff, but he was right and I couldn't ignore it. So now it's like when this dropped, I'm like, dude, like it's disappointing. But I agree with you. I totally agree with you, man. Like it's like, you don't want to put this stuff down because then Howard's like, oh, okay, so you guys beg for this stuff, and then when I give it to you, you complain. That's all you do is complain. But like I said, truly I do believe people will pre-order this. It's going to sell well, and I think for the representation, the price point, I think is pretty fair, $325. Like, it's a fair price point. It comes with the Dio base, though it is the No Way Home glider for some reason. It is a representation that I think a lot of people are going to appreciate, and I'm happy for them for that. And again, I'm also coming from a standpoint where I have a custom that to me is much more accurate than this. So like I'm happy with that. So it's like easy for me to pick this apart. But for those of you that don't have a representation at all, like this is probably awesome to you, and I totally get that, and I could appreciate that. But yeah, dude, Nick, our wounds were sealed when that Arkham Origins Batman was dropped this morning, bro. I still can't believe it. We were just talking about it like less than a week ago. You're like, dude, I'm just sticking with the 112 stuff until Hot Toys decides that they want to do Arkham stuff again. And here we are. And the Origins suit at that, in my opinion, the best suit or one of the best suits out of all the games. Like, speechless. We'll definitely talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, Yomo's talking about that Ben Affleck Daredevil, but Lane, I know when you first joined, we didn't get to say much to you, but I appreciate you for being here, Lane. Lane, I have a feeling that maybe you would come at this from a somewhat different perspective. I'm not sure if this interests you at all, but Lane, do you feel the pain that we feel when we're looking at this and saying like, oh, this isn't like quite as bulky as it should be. The suit colors are wrong. The damage on the suit, all those little things we're pointing out. Like, how do you feel about that?
I didn't really approach it with that much detail. I just, with the seam on the head was the death knell for me. I hate the seam on the head. That, but that bothers me about every Spider-Man, almost for the live action Spider-Man.
But not Holland, apparently. He always gets the good mass, apparently.
Yeah. But I don't like that. I think I like that they're doing the battle damage. Even honestly, I don't care if it's exactly the same as the movie, like exact with the holes or something. If I can look at it and go, hey, that's his battle damage look from the movie, that's what I care about. I am not like 100% every little shirt needs to be tucked just right and every button needs to be buttoned exactly the same as I saw it. Now, do I prefer for $300 for a figure to them to be more closer to that? Absolutely. Or in art charging $400 or $500 for a figure, or on an artisan figure that if they're, that the hair should be relatively accurately posed out of the box or out of the, clamshell you're pulling out of, should be accurate to how that look was, whatever the scene or the movie or whatever you're going to do. So I'm not letting them off the hook, but I do think people sometimes get so hyper, and this is just us on media in general. I mean this for everybody picking apart Stranger Things the last season for stuff that doesn't make sense. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
I think because that's just with so much information over the last 20 years available to us, has caused us to look at stuff a lot closer. But that's just a general thing. I hate the base. Like, that's the biggest thing for me for this. I hate the base.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stand it. You know, and you guys in chat, you know, I'm not a big fan of diorama bases. That you can't actually. Can I put the 2 feet of the figure on the base without scrunching it or having to put it half off or something? Some stuff around it is fine for a diorama base, but you have to be able to put the figure in a museum pose fully on the base without it falling over or having to scrunch it right by the edge of its, you know, toenails or something to keep it standing up. And it can't be you just can put it on, you know, in the air or something where you're putting pressure on the suit for a Spider-Man, which could screw it up over time.
Agreed.
But that is my biggest problem with this figure, is the stupid diorama base. I don't think it looks that good anyway, just being, hey, here's the Smash Goblin Glider. I'm just like, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's better than like the tan and brown Wolverine exclusive, which got the most garbage base you could give it. Why you're just like, why is it just a regular base? It should just be a regular base. There's no reason to give him some kind of stupid diorama base. But I think the figure's all right, but it just feels like Tobey's figures, there's always something goofy with them. Or that look, like you said, that it looks like there's got to be a little bit more to it. But now, when I say, but I want to be careful where I'm just saying I don't get into the super detail, but it doesn't forgive them. Like, I can't really see, like, for this figure, why isn't the holes around showing his face? I wouldn't understand why those don't look exactly like they do in the movie, because I figure when you're doing the 3D modeling or people are doing it, they're basing it directly off, you know, the way he looked in that scene, showing his face and everything. Now, it's still fine because I can tell it's Tobey Maguire, but you can't explain to me why are the holes slightly different, or the wrong size or something, or not showing his parts of his face like they did in the movie. That should be accurate. Like, that's something where if you guys want to harp on why that's not fully accurate, that's what they should be. But that's the same thing that happened with that black suit Spidey of Tobey. You know, there was some weird. Well, I mean, they had the a head sculpt on it that felt like it was should have been on a individual scene of him in a dance pose rather than on him actually in full black suit Spider-Man or something. You know?
Yeah, I still thought that was cool though. I was glad they included the head sculpt, and honestly, in person, I do really like that sculpt. And yeah. Lane, that actually is this head sculpt. It's hard to tell, but this is actually that head sculpt. Yeah. Slightly modified, of course.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I think you have to take this good and bad. This is a battle damaged Tobey we probably never thought you would get, especially from so long ago in the first Spider-Man movie. But it also is one of those things where you look at it and you also feel like it's half-assed a little bit. Too, you know, I get that why people that might be causing more consternation for people than anything, is that you can look at it and go, there are things I really like about it, but I also just feel like for some reason I can see parts to it that could, you know, even if we're not 100% certain, you can look and go, I just feel like there are parts of this feel half-assed. When if you're going to do a figure of this, why half-ass in the other? You know,
well, like I said, it all goes back to, like, this is an iconic character, an iconic representation of Spider-Man that a lot of us like hold very close to our hearts, because, like, you know, these are like the early days of live action Marvel, you know, that really propelled Marvel into like, you know, most people's living rooms. You know, it's like we got Tobey Maguire, Raimi versus Spider-Man, and we've got Blade. Like, these films shaped Marvel into what it is today when it comes to live action stuff, and that's why it's so important to us. And it's like these films are so watchable still today. Like, Sam Raimi's style just holds up, and, you know, and then we got No Way Home, and No Way Home brought back this character, this version of Spider-Man that we love, including Andrew as well. And like, you know, we got some of our favorite villains like Doc Ock and Electro, and all these villains came back. And it's like, you know, so you would think, knowing that they've made all these figures to kind of create these ultimate displays for people, that they would just pay a little bit more attention to it, because they're capable of it, dude. I mean, look, we're going to look at the Indiana Jones. That figure looks pretty damn good. So they're very capable of it. It's just, you know.
It just feels like this one was like at the last minute kind of thrown. And what I mean last minute, this was probably started like a year ago. But, you know, it feels like it was added to the schedule. Like, hey, we had some concept stuff, but it's like, well, we need to have a spot in our release schedule at this time. So they, you know, quicken the pace to get it ready to be able to have it ready for product photos and all that stuff a little bit. You know,
Nailed it in.
Yeah, where if they spent not even a ton of time, maybe they spend an extra 2 or 3 months just working on the costume a little bit. And I mean, it's hard these days to ask a customer to wait like, hey, 9 or 10 months or a year from now, where this figure is going to come out in 15 or 16 months. Hey, we improved this stuff. Now it's updated, where it also could be waitlisted because not a lot of people pre-ordered it, and everybody's going, oh my God, they fixed all this stuff. You know, or look, they made the head sculpts, you know, been altered now, so it actually looks completely accurate to the movie scene. And they show you, like, here's what it looks like in comparison, and that just becomes frustrating. You know, yeah.
I love this comment because it's like, especially when you look at like the battle damage and the spider logo, it's like, dude, like, a company like Hot Toys has access to incredible reference material. Like, you know, when you're working with licensors, they give you the power of the sun in the palm of your hand. They give you everything you need to make these figures
all
great.
I'm going to say is Hot Toys is lucky they do not do this like freaking InArt seems to want to do.
Hot Toys, brilliant, but lazy.
Where they would do a live stream showing this figure. Yeah. Put the figure on the thing and then be like, discuss it for 2 hours, and everybody would be like, what about this, and what a disaster it would be. But I think it's cool they're doing another Tobey, but it's one of those things I know this is the third one in a couple of years, but I'm also kind of Tobey'd out right now. I think I think I'm just kind of I'm kind of multi. I'm kind of I tie this later in. I'm kind of multiversed out, in general with characters, and I like this is why I'm really hoping Doomsday and Secret Wars just reboot. So there's one Marvel timeline, one Marvel universe going forward for when they're going to recast a lot of people, and maybe 5 years from now or something, going to start over saying, "Here's Tony Stark, Iron Man Reborn."
That's a discussion for another day, Lane.
Yeah, but it's a solid figure, but it's like, as much as I think this Tobey is still better than the last regular suit from No Way Home. Don't get me wrong. I think this one looks better.
I think this is definitely worse than the black suit in terms of accuracies. Like, obviously, like as Nick would say, the Party City mask and stuff with the black suit originally, but even the final product. But yeah, I think this is worse off from the get-go than the black suit, which is a shame because, the black suit had a lot of issues too. But well said, Lane. I think again, this is going to be something that people that don't really care too much about the nitty-gritty of the details, they'll be perfectly fine with it. And I agree with Nick. If they fix some of like the standard, like easy to fix issues like the spider logo and maybe even the battle damage on the chest, like it would be easy to get it customized for those of us who really care about like, getting it to that next level, but we'll see. Chris, I do want to hear your thoughts. I saw you got booted out and I didn't realize it. So sorry if you were kind of waiting in the background, but if you're here, I know we had some like initial reactions to this when it first dropped, and I was telling you my thoughts on it. And, we were kind of taking in all the comments because of course a lot of people had some choice words to say about this figure. But Chris, what are your thoughts on the Tobey as you've had time to dissect it and kind of see what other people have said as well and kind of form your own opinion? Yeah, Ekwan said chill on the Tobey Maguire'd out. I think that's what he's talking about, or maybe your secondary theory with Tony Stark and everything. But go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, so I think just looking at it outside, it looks good at first glance. It's like somebody who likes the film. As a collector, though, and like if you actually care that much about the character, I think it is lazy, as you guys have said, and you hit the nail on the head. Like I think you all did when you're talking about how many accuracies there are. Like with certain figures we love, we can deal with one, maybe two at max. But the fact that this has the wrong logo, the mask is terrible, it's the wrong body proportions, they're using the wrong glider. Like it's a list that goes on. It's to be honest insane because of what they're charging, and you can tell they're just like doing it because they can, and they know it was in demand. They probably saw what Riley did, to be honest, and was like, oh, there's a
Sure.
market for that.
Yeah.
But I do think weirdly, and I'll say this, like Lane saying he hates the base, I actually like the base. I actually think Toby got the better bases out of all the Spider-Man, in my opinion. Like, because I do like the Sandman base, and I do like this new one. Just wish it was done properly. However, I'm Andrew, but even Andrew had his problems. Like we had to switch out the lenses that we actually wanted, and you actually sold your TASM 2 just so you could get the one because they did better purport. They did it way better than what they did with TASM 2 or whatever. But I stick by my guy Andrew. I have massive love for Toby. Grew up with Toby, so Toby is like my guy. But Andrew's like, as far as it's really the suit and just Andrew Garfield himself. But yeah, there's not much more I could say because you guys did it. I like, the hair fringe piece, that being artisan, you know, whether you like the artisan hair or not, it is what it is. I think it's a cool addition to just kind of throw out there to bring out that realism. But other than that, I still think Riley for what he did for that custom. It was Riley, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Riley Lowe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he absolutely nailed it and killed it. Whereas this, they were just like, oh, here you go. So the people who were saying like, oh, people crapping their pants, like it's kind of like a coping thing, to be honest, or like people being mad now, like that they wasted that money. I don't think so at all because if I saw the two in front of me, even with everything that Hot Toys probably comes with, I would definitely choose the custom one.
Yeah. And as somebody who owns this figure, I'm sure people are wondering, like, am I like pissed off that I had that and then I paid like $525 for that or whatever it was retail, and then I got this? And the answer is no. Like, I truly believe that Riley did such a fantastic job and a much more honest and accurate take on the character that I've got the best of the best that I have seen out of all the different customizers that have done their work on it. Respectfully, I think Riley's is the best. And I can't tell you how many people have seen this figure on my channel or in random posts from Riley, or like Nick has posted it quite a few times, and they're just blown away by it because it looks so realistic. And again, Riley just really put that extra work in with that attention to detail and, adding material on the underbody so you can kind of beef up the body in places where it needs it. The damage is like damn near identical to where it's located in the film on the actual suit.
Yeah.
So it's like just
And
the
like
attention
all
to
the
detail,
the dirt and the weathering too, like they didn't really add that much to this figure. Like when I've held yours in hand, I've seen it, and I was like blown by the fact that it wasn't like I mean, I guess he's, somewhat major but like a big company such as Hot Toys, that wasn't doing it, or InArt didn't do it. I'm like, it's that impressive to me. So I'm not just trying to hype it up. It is a really, really uh, good product that he put out there, and the fact that he was able to do it and actually put that much care into it is incredible.
Yeah, and like you said, that's a good point. Like Hot Toys didn't add like any of like the dust and everything on a suit when they're like
Yep.
fighting and the brick walls and that whole sequence. And yeah, like Hot Toys didn't add any of that, and that's just like those minor little details. And now Riley is doing a very expensive but cool diorama base to kind of tie these projects together. So yeah, and I agree. I am 100% with Lane. I hate like Feral Predator, perfect example. Beautiful base, but really silly because there's nowhere to put his feet. It's kind of unusable as a standard display base. You're gonna have to be imaginative, and like put one foot off to the side. I don't like that either. But I do think the base looks cool, despite it being the wrong glider. It is cool. It's just weird. I can't unsee the glider. But in the same hand, I do own a custom, No Way Home Goblin that is painted and modded to look like it from the first Raimi film, and he is using the No Way Home glider. So it's like, I'm kind of contradicting myself if I really complained about that person.
Good news though, you can, because it's a pre-order, there's hope that some stuff can be fixed.
Yeah, for sure.
Could I add one more note?
Yeah, for sure.
Isn't it strange? And this shows the lack of care and effort. I don't know if it's towards the era since it's been ignored so heavily or towards this Spider-Man, but they released the symbiote suit with a full fabric costume that looks more accurate. But this is back to this weird rubbery plastic. Or rubbery material. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, how do you not just repaint that same fabric you put on the black suit?
Or like even the 77, like the 77 and 78 suits, those are full cloth. Yeah. I don't know if it has to do with like that texturing that, like, from a manufacturing standpoint, like, I don't know. I've always wondered that myself because we have a varying, different array of materials when it comes to Spider-Man figures, especially because of the video game versions and stuff. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I never understood that.
Because the symbiote suit has a sheen to it. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it, it doesn't look just flat black. You can see a little shine to it.
It is also weird that you have, like, and I know they're fabric suits or whatever for Andrew and Toby, like a good part of it.
Yeah.
But when you look at Tom Holland's, like the mask texture, I don't know what the new ones are, but I know when they were doing the movie promo editions and stuff for Homecoming, those Homecoming suits, that mask, I'm pretty sure, was a type of fabric, wasn't it? And it was like super form-fitting.
The Holland masks are always better. I don't like.
Yeah, I don't get that.
And it's all like, fabric.
Yeah,
and that's
true. Okay, Nick is right. So the texture does not matter because I was telling Nick the other day, I feel like we were so harsh on Thunder Toys, bro. We didn't appreciate Thunder Toys when they were putting out these, Sam Raimi figures because, they did a pretty honest job considering they were like a new third-party company, and a lot of those are older when it comes to, like, when they first started as a company. And yeah, he's right. No, he is right. That's true because the Thunder Toys figures actually do have the correct looking texture on the suit and everything. So,
I mean, Andrews, Tasman too. That suit, even though it's completely wrong. It is not the right material at all. Like, not even close to what it was. It's not that shimmery shot, like that deep red.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're just not using a different material. I think I would like what Tom Holland's suit uses a little bit better. As far like, it feels more premium too.
Yeah, and my only complaint, like the Holland suit was a little weird because it had mostly cloth, but then like the metallic blue parts, it was like this like thick vinyl like material, and it was kind of gross. And
I'm not trying to talk about the blue. I'm talking strictly like where the red is, like that fabric-y part, whatever they're using for that stuff is.
Well, like the 77 and 78 Spider-Man, I think those are the best Spider-Man to date when it comes to the suit material. That and like the black suit, the symbiote suit, Hono figure, like. If every Spider-Man was like that, dude, like, we'd be set. But that's why I sold a majority of my non-Raimi Spider-Man figures, because I was like, dude, I'm so scared to pose because I'm a little wimp and I don't want to ruin my figures. So I'm like, I don't want to have a bunch of Spider-Man figures in museum poses. Like, Spider-Man is meant to be posed. Granted, like this Battle Damaged Tobey, for example, I think looks great. I love open, relaxed hands on Spider-Man. I just love that, like, stoic look, arms down at the sides. Like, I love that, especially for this, like, as if like Toby just finished the fight and obviously he's like obviously still sad about what happened. He didn't want to have to do what, he didn't want to have to uninadvertently kill Norman, even though Norman kind of killed himself. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can put it in a pose like that where you don't have to put him in a crazy pose, and it just works, and it looks great, and you have him with the open, relaxed hands, and it looks awesome. But I just had like an army of Spider-Man figures all in very similar arms down at their sides poses, and I was like, I'm not doing these figures justice. I'm no Riley. Riley, he did his videos where he like put him in these crazy poses, and they looked great, and he showed like what happened afterwards, and I'm more of the type of person when it comes to Spider-Man where I'm like, I'd rather keep it in a basic pose and like, be able to sell it for what it's worth later. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of how I felt about it. Guys, I did put up a poll, by the way, because I do want to kind of hear your thoughts. So vote in that poll, by the way. BD means battle damage, not the other BD. So it's battle damage, guys. But yeah, I think we've beat this figure up enough. Again, guys, I want to close it by saying, Fig and I were saying in the beginning, like, we do appreciate that Hot Toys is doing stuff like this. It would just be nice to see them give it a little bit more attention that it deserves, because it certainly is deserving upon that. And maybe they'll improve it. Maybe they will. I would hope they at least make some improvements. And I think that'll be a win for everybody, just despite what you may think of it, where you sit with the matter. I think it'll be an improvement.
This could be a last positive thought too. If I ever do decide to get into buying other Spider-Man and get the Tobey and stuff, I think this would probably be the one I would get, just because I think battle damage brings a little bit more realism take to it, and I do like a bit of the base, even if it is wrong. We'll see if they change it.
Yeah, like I said, I like the base as well, despite it being wrong. It's like I'm kind of being hypocritical by saying like, oh, it's the No Way Home glider, because I do have the No Way Home glider still with like my Raimi, my Spider-Man 1 inspired Goblin, my customs. So I'm kind of being hypocritical with that. So let me call myself out on that and calm down. But what's up, Philly? Great to see you, bro. Loved your review on the John Wayne. I actually have that figure on pre-order. I'm excited for it, and I think you did a great job, dude. So congrats on that. That's awesome. And Happy New Year to you as well.
Did you pre-order this one, Connor? I didn't hear if you did.
So I did. So I've created a personal mission for myself with this one to prove a point. I am going to get this figure, and I'm going to have Riley modify it so I could really...
Dang!
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I saw it, and I was like... So these people want to say that this doesn't matter, that doesn't matter. I'm like, let's see what Riley can do with it. And here's the other reason I pre-ordered it, right? And obviously, like, I'm not necessarily going to get a custom mask for this. But I'm hearing that maybe Toy Stay is going to make a mask for this one because the connector is different. So they might
I heard
do
it's
like,
confirmed.
Yeah, so apparently they're going to make like a slightly different
but
version
what
of the main
hair?
mask. Well, it's going to be like the main mask with slight damage. Yeah, like it'll have like slight damage on it, I think. But apparently they are saying that Hot Toys has changed the connector a little bit on this body, so that's their way of justifying doing a run of that mask, but slightly different. It'll have like battle damage. So that could be cool. Maybe like I'll have Riley mod the body, and then I can have like a damaged Tobey, but with the mask on. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. It just says bad Tobey. Steve, my dude, Biggerson Phantom, 21 months as a hotline hottie. I appreciate it, my friend. Z Molinet says hello from Pittsburgh. Congrats on the win against my team, the Ravens, by the way. That's totally our fault. Hello from Pittsburgh, fellas. I collected 1/6 like I do 1/12. I have a handful of Hot Toys. Well, that's awesome, dude. It's funny because I'm kind of like dipping into 1/12 because of the Arkham stuff. And then Hot Toys decides to throw me a bone and gives us an Origins 1/6 figure. So, but dude, I got that LPZZ Deathstroke. Holy shit, dude. I can't stop looking at that thing. I can't stop posing it and playing around with it. That figure is freaking amazing. It's so good. We got my dude, Big Dog Pound in the house. Another Hotline Hottie and a channel member. Woo! What's up, my dude? Unfortunately, Chris is in the car, so he doesn't have a belt on him. But if he was home yet, he would definitely.
He was probably the world champion of UPS deliveries over the last couple of weeks.
Corner.
Yeah, he said it. Oh, you would absolutely. I think. Cop. You'd absolutely cop. I got you. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
You must be dealing already enough as it is in a little bit of mourning since your coach got fired. So now you have instability since like you last had instability since you were like a little kid.
We're excited, dude. It's like the Return of the Jedi. And then we hear about Kathleen Kennedy in the same day, bro. Like, come on now. That's dubs all
that's
around.
big news.
Dubs all around, baby.
Yeah.
Guys, get your last minute votes in. We're gonna move on to Indy, but I will close the poll in a few minutes. Someone will have to remind me. But yes, dude, it's so good. It's so good. It's like scary how good it is. Because I had the Hot Toys one, and I had it, and I was like, dude, this is such a piece of shit. It's so stiff, and it is an older figure to its credit, but like the tassels that go off the back of his head, they had that wire in them, and the wire, like whatever glue they used on it, gave out over time, and the wire just fell out of the little bandana pieces, and it was just all over the place. Dude, I hated that figure so much. I hated it, and I was so mad because I love Deathstroke in the Arkham games, and yeah. But the 1/12 is insanely good, dude. It's unbelievable. I don't have my Arkham Knight. I was late to that because I was like still trying to resist the 1/12 stuff, so I ordered it late. So I think I ordered it with Int's Hobby. And obviously the hype was like super high in like September, and that's when I ordered it. I was late to the game. So I got Deathstroke before freaking Batman, dude. So I'm waiting for my Batman. And freaking Nick keeps posting pictures of his Batman, making me jealous, dude. I'm like, I want my freaking Batman, dude. But yeah, I'm excited to check it out whenever it comes in. But guys, we're going to move on. I'm going to let Lane start with this one because I think this is one... Chris?
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you. I was just gonna say I just got home. I'm gonna hop off, switch into the room, and I'll be back on.
Sounds good. All right, Lane. I am going to let you start because I feel like you were probably really excited for this one. Maybe Lane, it might not be the film. Raiders of the Lost Ark is the best look, and I'll stand on that. But this is still really freaking cool. And you know, before we got that Return of the Jedi Han Solo, we had a lot of people saying, you know, we're never going to get another Harrison Ford figure. That's over and done with. And then I remember, Lane, we all talked about it on here. We're like, as soon as we got that Return of the Jedi Han Solo, we're like, dude, it's over. We're getting Indy. Indy's coming eventually. And who would have thought we got a Bespin Han and an Indiana Jones from the Temple of Doom sitting here right in front of us. Lane, talk to us about it.
Well, actually, I'm not getting this one.
But, okay... You're not getting but is it exciting to you?
I think it's cool to see him doing it. It's what we really all wanted from the day we saw the Dial of Destiny Indiana Jones. It didn't matter what exactly we wanted, a young original trilogy Indiana Jones. Like that's whether it was I'm kind of surprised they maybe didn't do Last Crusade because I think that versus maybe because they already did Raiders or something, they couldn't do that one again right away or something. But I'm kind of surprised they didn't go for Last Crusade, which maybe could have left the door open for also getting Sean Connery Indy Sr. possibly as a figure to go with it eventually. Kind of like J&D did the dual statue of them. So it doesn't take him completely out of ever coming out. But I understand that might be a figure for later down the road that they want to do too.
Yeah, very much so.
I think the body for this is really cool. I still, with the Raiders to me is probably I like Last Crusade the best, but I think Raiders is his most iconic, just with everything, that look and everything. Yeah. But they nail this look I can practically hear the monkey brains like coming to me and stuff when I look at this. I like the machete. I love the fact that they made the holster and the belt is actual leather. Because it's funny because it's usually the holster is the thing we can always get as pleather. You should say, can we get one holster with leather instead of
look at the DX05, Lane. It's just like crumbling to bits. That figure's so old. Yeah. I had that at one point.
But I think the silicone body they're using is great. Now, that does obviously mean you may need to be careful how you pose this guy. But there are so many ways to make Indy look cool. Like he comes with enough stuff and everything. And I'm going to probably assume the hat is permanently attached to his head, but I don't know anybody who wouldn't pose him with the hat. You know, that it doesn't feel like Indiana Jones kind of without the hat on.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
The whip looks good. I like the bag. This feels like the natural evolution kind of from what they did a really good job with the old Indian Dial of Destiny. No matter how crappy the movie was. I remember when this back in the 80s, like early 90s, this was thought to be the worst Indiana Jones movie, was Temple of Doom. That was kind of the off in the corner version of the trilogy, was how it was kind of viewed as. I'm, as you know, I'm not Mr. Diorama base, but even though they are basically reusing the diorama base,
it's like a reimagined Dial of Destiny base, 100%.
Yeah. But having with they're including the little weird stones that glow and the skull and all that kind of stuff with it, I think is really cool. This is one where I thought Dial of Destiny, because it basically came with pretty much everything, all the accessories except for the diorama base. I'm kind of in the same camp for this one, is that if you don't care about the diorama base, I don't think you're losing anything really, because you're getting all of the accessories. Now, I don't know how useful the stones are without having the big skull thing to stick them in.
That's true.
But I know a lot of times you say always go with deluxe, but I think just like kind of Dial of Destiny, if you don't care or don't have space for a diorama base, I'm going to tell you just get the regular one, because you get everything that comes with Indy. There's no alternate head sculpt that is only with the deluxe edition, or Hayes comes with the jacket thing and stuff that's only part of the deluxe artisan version. Hot Toys was nice for this one that they didn't really cut off. There's some other accessory only with the deluxe, so that if you don't want that or have space for it, you get the figure and all the cool stuff it can come with. So I prefer when Hot Toys does that, if the only real extra thing is going to be a diorama base. It is still an expensive figure, either version. It's over $300. So,
but people are going to spend it because it's a seamless torso Indy.
Yeah.
How many people spent so much money on customs for Indy, dude? It's insane.
Yeah, but it's a good figure. Now we have to wait, obviously, till we see the final enhance. So we're talking a year and a half from now. But for a pre-order and everything, I can't think of a much better way to finish off a year by giving a figure of a character people have waited. I know we had Dial.
Yeah, this and Toby, they really saved these to be like, Happy New Year, everybody. This is what you get,
Even though we had the old Indiana Jones within the last couple of years, how everybody really thinks of Indiana Jones is young, 30s, 40 Harrison Ford, 80s Indiana Jones. That's the way, in the mind's eye, how you picture the character. It just is. To give us a prime Indiana Jones figure from whichever movie. Now, of course, I do kind of want a short round with this, quite honestly. But this is a perfect. You just want one Harrison Ford. I think if you just want one version of Harrison Ford in your collection, it doesn't matter exactly which character, but you want Harrison Ford in your collection because you like him as an actor. As much as I like the Han Solos, and especially I think the Empire one is going to be cool. This is the character where Harrison Ford is the main guy. He's the James Bond. He's the main character of the entire thing.
And I would think Indiana Jones is equally as big of a role as Han Solo. His career,
maybe even more so, because that's his movie. That's his movie trilogy. He doesn't share any spotlight really with anybody.
Sorry, I just wanted to point something out, Lane, while we're looking at this. This is interesting. Look how seamless the wrist looks there. And then look at this picture.
It looks all shitty.
It's not shitty, but look at the difference.
Well, I always think that was
basically no visible wrist peg, and then you could see the wrist peg there. I wonder if you can actually push it all the way in there and get it to look like that.
That's interesting. Yeah,
might be Photoshop.
It could be.
Yeah. I just think this is a cool figure. If you just want a really iconic, if you want Harrison Ford in your collection, if you like Indiana Jones, if you're a fan of the 80s, You know, maybe not Indiana. You know, the Indiana Jones movies aren't your favorite movies, but you like them. But you would like to have a representation. But if you're a Stranger Things fan, you know, big fan of like the '80s nostalgia, this is a figure you could get because this is '80s nostalgia, like Stranger Things in the early seasons was really kind of built upon and stuff. I just think this figure can appeal to a lot of different collectors for different reasons. Even if you're not like Indiana Jones is my favorite movie series or something like that.
It's just an iconic character, and I think some people will buy this because it's iconic. And, you know, it was pointed out by a couple people, like the fact that he didn't have the jacket and stuff because that like completes that iconic look for Indy. And then you have like the ripped shirt missing the sleeve. I think a lot of people will buy this one just to customize it. I had multiple people reach out to me and say, "Oh, can you ask Topo to make a shirt and a jacket for this?" But it's like, dude, like, if you have patience, I think Hot Toys is going to do one from each of the trilogy.
Oh, I think they're going to, I at minimum think they're eventually going to do Raiders.
Yeah, like Raiders is his most iconic look with the two-tone gun belt and the leather jacket and the revolver. Like, you know, they're going to do that look for sure. Now, do I think that there's a reason they did this one first? Yeah, because probably people wouldn't buy this if they had the Raiders of the Lost Ark
or the Raiders of the Lost Ark or
yeah. So they're gonna do this first, get their orders in, and then you know they'll get some
Raiders or Last Crusade will show up in the next couple of years,
right? But they'll announce the other ones after this. Like if they're gonna do multiple Han Solos, they're gonna do multiple Indiana Jones, and they already have. This is the second one in the past about a year because they did the Dial of Destiny one. Like
last 2 years.
They'll do another one, and I would love, you know, they've been very quiet with the 007 license. You know, they haven't done any classic like Sean Connery or Roger Moore or my boy Pierce Brosnan.
Or Brosnan, just anybody like.
So it's like, could they do Sean Connery? Could they do Indy's father from Indiana Jones? Like that would be cool. Like,
yeah, well,
we'll see.
J&D did as we're going to talk about and stuff a little bit, that tease for the Arkham Origins. These companies, even though it might be a couple of years apart or something, when you see licenses or you see like from specific looks for movies or games pop up from especially the Asian companies, when you see one pop up, you're going to see a lot of times that character, that specific costume or whatever will appear in other, you know, whether formats or statues or whatever, you know, from life size to, you know, 12 scale, 1/12 scale or something like that. You're going to see them pop. Look at Absolute Batman. Like we've seen a Hot Toys figure, a 10 scale statue,
multiple,
and now there's supposed
scales are coming out. Like
yeah,
InArt's doing one.
Yeah, and then there's supposed to be like a 3rd scale statue that LBS is working on. So eventually you're going to have like that, just kind of out of the blue here, you're going to have that version of Batman have like 5 different versions pop up.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised that we've seen J&D do the Last Crusade, Indy and his dad. I would not be shocked if we don't see them in both figure format within the next couple of years.
We'll see, but if and when they do, that'll be a huge announcement for sure. But Lane, we're going to move on because we do have a little bit of a time crunch because we got some other stuff to do. But great thoughts, Lane. I'll just share my thoughts on it briefly, and then we got Chris back. Chris is in his collection room now, as you can see. We love to see his face with the fresh cut. He got back from Great Clips, got the cut.
Great Clips.
But I'm just joking. But no, I think this is really cool. It's very exciting to see more Harrison Ford stuff. Obviously, you know, Disney is playing nice and Harrison Ford's playing nice with the licensing, and I think there's more to come. We're going to see more Han Solo variants. You know, maybe they're going to space it out a bit, but no doubt that they're going to do a Raiders of the Lost Ark version. Like, I get it. If you're like diehard Indiana Jones fan and like this is so exciting to you and you just want to make your custom now, go for it, you know. But just know Hot Toys Hotline assured you that they're going to do another version of this guy in the near future. I bet you by the end of this year they would have already announced a Raiders of the Lost Ark version. It's got to happen, right? Like it's too iconic of a look, and I would again reiterate, I think they're totally doing this because they know That if they announce the Raiders one, that's the one everybody's going to go for. And it's smart of them to do, Let's get the Temple of Doom version out of the way. There's going to be people that want all of them. Let's get that out of the way, and then we'll drop the ball on them and show them the Raiders of the Lost Ark version. So that's my thought on it. I am picking this up. I probably will let go of my present toys one now, even though I know it's like Raiders technically inspired. It's not really super accurate. But again, it's just because I have the Dial of Destiny version, and I'm confident that they're going to do a Raiders version here soon. So might as well sell it before nobody wants it. Fig, I don't think this is necessarily one that you'll be going after, but we talk a lot about like it would be nice to see figures that you don't see too often. And I've told you many times, like last year, I know a lot of that stuff wasn't for you, but I was very excited about like Robo-Kane and RoboCop and the Alien stuff and the Predator stuff. So I think even if you're not into this particular figure, you can appreciate, and I can appreciate, like, when they do unique stuff that's not for me, like, One Piece or, the K-pop Demon Hunters figures, because when you see unique stuff like that, it gives you hope for early 2000s X-Men, or for more Tobey Maguire Spider-Man related stuff, or for more 80s stuff, like, that artisan Ellen Ripley we love to throw out there. You know what I mean? So I guess you probably have somewhat of an appreciation for this in that realm of things, but I don't know how much of an Indiana Jones fan you are.
All right, so none of you guys kill me in the chat or on the panel. I've never seen any of the movies.
It's all right. Nick already took that heat for you. He already said he's never seen Indiana Jones.
They kill me in it too, bro.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I missed that era, fellas. Like my focus was always 90s. I watched the 80s stuff like recently in the last 10, 15 years or so. And at that point, the nostalgia was already kind of gone. So like, it's weird how that works. Like when you see it during the time or like right off of that time, it leaves such a big imprint on you. But for somebody that didn't really appreciate it or see it at the moment when it was hot, and you go back and look at it, it's like you can see you can see the flaws, the cracks in the armor. But I say that to say, regardless of that, I think this is a great figure. If I only had two nitpicks of it, I would say that the body looks just a little like somebody else's. It does it from the photo comparisons I've seen with my guy 6 Scale Treasures on Instagram. He's really cool. Yeah. He does all the comparisons, and from what I've seen, it just looks like another buffer guy's body. You know what I'm saying? But if I had that's just a tiny nitpick, because even with the shirt on it, the torn up shirt, I think it looks great from what I've seen from the source material. And also, I think the hat not being removable, even though him having it on is iconic from, what I've seen, it still would be cool to kind of diversify your posing, to maybe have a pose with him about to put his hat on, kind of like this, taking it off, something, there's nothing wrong with more options in my book. But I'm super happy for everyone that's looking for this, and be sure that they will release the Raiders version that you guys were speaking of. This is like an iconic character for them. I mean, they just made about 3 or 4 Harrison Fords in the last year, so best believe they're gonna keep it going.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if we got Bespin Han, like the possibilities are endless. I mean, we've been begging for that figure for a long time.
Exactly. They did Red Hulk. I mean, they're just gonna do whatever at this point when it comes to him. He's like one of their cornerstones. And I think the standout of this whole piece, because they already did the leather gun holster and belt, and they also did the leather whip already with the old man Indy, right? So I think the standout is the Dio. Like, I think that Dio is, I'm a big fan of nice, just really realistic and kind of large Dios that not too large, but, and also to speak to what Lane was saying, yes, I do agree. Every diorama should have room for the figure to breathe.
100%.
Like, I don't need it to be giant, a whole DTOF space worth. I don't need that, but at least make it breathable, Yeah. From what I could tell with this, it looks okay. It doesn't look too bad, but overall, the presence of it is amazing. And I guess I'm gonna bow out after that.
No, great points. And I personally would never ever display him with the shirt off. It is a weird look to me. Like, it definitely is not a reused body, and maybe it could use a little bit of tweaking. I think he definitely looks the best with the shirt on, and that's just the iconic look from Temple of Doom for me with the sleeve ripped. And great points about the hat. I didn't comment on that myself, but. And here's the thing, when you do a removable hat, there's only certain ways you could do it without it looking goofy as shit. So you either give us an alternate sculpt, or you literally make it so like the hair piece comes off and there's a swappable hair piece. You know, and Hot Toys has done this in the past. But, you know, you get these companies that do these hats where it's just meant to fit over the head, and it ends up looking so ridiculous. Like, I'm sure you guys remember the Mars Toys 89 Joker when they first released it. That hat it looks so ridiculous. And but I totally agree. And we talk about this all the time. Options are the best. And by the way, Nick, I would describe Indiana Jones as an action-adventure series. That's what it really is. It's funny. I had this comment up from Sal because I thought this was too funny. But Indiana Jones is timeless, and it's just fun, and it's an easy watch, and I think it still holds up. And yes, it's a little cheesy, but it's fun. Indiana Jones is just fun. And I'm really excited as someone who really likes Indiana Jones, because, like, you know, Disney World, they're finally building a Indiana Jones ride there, because I've never been to Disneyland. I'm like, dude, when they build that, might have to make a trip out there. But yeah, this is really cool, man, and I think you framed it perfectly as somebody who's not necessarily interested in the figure. Again, you can have that appreciation of, like, dude, it's just cool that they're making this stuff, and yeah, you know, I could gush about this figure forever. Obviously Lane could too, because Lane's a big Indy fan, and, you know, whether Lane wants the figure or not, you know, you have that appreciation as a fan, and obviously most people, I agree, are going to want that Raiders version, and it's coming. So if you're, like, you know, chomping at the bits to get an Indy figure, I think you could wait. I really do, and I don't want to be the guy to screw you over on an Indy, but, you know, there's options out there, and I think it's going to happen. Chris, it's so funny because I know, you know, you're a big into the Disney properties, but you also have not gotten into Indiana Jones yourself yet. And so what are your thoughts on this, Chris, as you're looking at this here, seeing another Harrison Ford figure? And thank you, Fig, for reminding me. I completely forgot about Red Hawk. Like, they're going crazy with Harrison Ford stuff. Like, I completely, General Ross, bro, I forgot we got that figure, and he looks awesome too. It's one that I passed on, and I didn't particularly hate that movie. I actually kind of enjoyed it for what it was. It wasn't perfect, certainly, but it's still a really cool figure. I completely forgot they did that, and those sculpts look great. Real quick, Chris, sorry to stop you. Thank you so much, Valk, for the $5 super chat. You were too kind, my friend. Happy New Year to you. Valk says, Happy New Year, Connor and friends. We appreciate it. Valk, thank you for your unending amounts of generosity and positivity, especially going into the new year. It means a lot, bro. So thank you so much for being such a good friend and for being so kind and donating to the figure fund, which, you know, as Fig Pozr knows, is getting destroyed right now because of diorama bases that cost unending amounts of money. And Nick knows too, as I'm still debating on that.
Shout out to Valk.
Yeah, shout out to Valk. Valk is the best of the best, and so is Moose and everybody else in here. Y'all are the best of the best.
Yep, Moose.
But go ahead, Chris. Your thoughts on Indiana Jones being a person who will soon realize the error of his ways and dive into Indiana Jones and watch the trilogy, just like you did with Back to the Future when I got on you about not watching that.
Yeah.
Eventually, this will cross your path and you'll watch it. But
I'm scared. Maybe I'll wait till it sells out and then I'll watch, because I really don't need to get into something else to start.
That's crazy.
Collecting, but it is crazy. The wife, she likes Indiana Jones. I don't know why. I forget sometimes they exist. As crazy as that sounds.
Okay. But I think Moose is right. We need to put a test forward. I mean, you know, granted, I'll throw my hot take there to defend my panelists. I have not watched basically all of Lord of the Rings, so I can't say much.
Oh, yeah, but I've done that too. That one's
that's a sin. Yeah, that's a sin, bro.
Yeah. Look at Lane. Lane's literally disgusted with me.
It's a sin. Greatest trilogy of all time.
I'm more disgusted with me is the fact that you guys, even uber mega nerd boys like you, are telling me that I haven't watched this series. I haven't watched that series. And unfortunately, I can say, well, I've watched all of these series, like every one of these movies, and it makes me just feel like, I'm like, do I just need to put a big N on my forehead and just like
the Scarlet Letter. That's what
like have Ogre's voice from Revenge of the Nerds just going nerds over and over and over again, because that's what it makes me feel like.
Eventually, I told Fig this, I've told other people this. When InArt is kind of chilling out on the Lord of the Rings, I'll be like, cool. Now I won't be tempted to get the figures because I'm not spending all that money to get them on the secondary market. And then I'll be like, cool, I'll check out the series so I can just appreciate it and not see figures left and right and have to spend all this money. Yeah. That would be sick.
Never underestimate a Hobbit.
Yeah.
Any like outside looking in, not seeing it, I've always kind of liked stuff like this, like that isn't, Star Wars, like that whole superhero or like off in space. It's more of a realistic person, and I kind of like that stuff too, where you get like the satchel bag and like whips and holster with gun type deal, hats, whatever. Like I do like stuff like that. So seeing this, turning that into making it look like real, I think looks pretty good, and I think it looks spot on to Harrison Ford. Just seeing him from other films, and obviously as an actor, the diorama is pretty cool to me. The body, like the shirtless look, I saw a photo, I guess somebody posted, of what he looked like in the film. I do agree with Biggs there that is a bit off. I don't think he looked that shredded. Maybe they fix it, maybe they don't, but proportionally with the head, it does seem like a tad off to me, but I still think the silicone arms like looks pretty good, especially when you have the shirt on and stuff like that. So I think it's a solid piece. Like, I mean, just looking at it outside right now, I'd give it 9 to 10 for me.
Yeah. And I think most people would be hard pressed to take the shirt off anyway, because again, Temple of Doom, the most iconic look is that missing sleeve, So I think maybe they're just kind of showing like, hey, this is the work that we've done to make it look nice underneath the shirt. Yeah. I do agree. Like, look, we have something crazy to compare it to. We have 2 figures in particular. Bane, which is like an insane release from Hot Toys, like still one of their best figures in quite a long time. But then we have the Hugh Jackman Wolverine that recently released, where they literally replicated the dude's body to a T. And it's like, so when you look at that, right, when you look at that and then you look at this, you're like, I don't know if that's quite Harrison Ford in this era. But it still looks good. It's just not quite.
If I had it, I would do shirt on too. Without even seeing the film, I'd probably do that one.
Yeah, Tim, I think a lot of people prefer Temple of Doom, but when we talk about looks, like what is that most iconic, like, when you think of Indiana Jones, what pops in your head? It's that Raiders look, So when it comes from like a figure standpoint, we all, I think most of us, I should say, I think I could speak for most of us, we want that Raiders look.
It's like, I know a little bit of the soundtrack too, and like, cause I know it is iconic, and like I know the show's coming, like it's at Disneyland, and I know one's coming to World, isn't it, or something like that? It's replacing.
Well, the ride, there's going to be a ride. There is a show currently already there in Hollywood Studios, but then they're, putting the ride in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, definitely want to check that stuff out because it does look cool. Just never got around to the movies. Who knows? Maybe I start tonight. You never know.
You ain't going to start tonight. Don't lie to us. Is it maybe tonight?
That's why I said maybe.
Yeah, well,
Evil dies tonight.
That's crazy. Don't get me started on that, dude.
Yeah.
Let me close the poll, and then we will move on from Indiana Jones. Seems like we weren't too crazy with the Tobey. 59% said that the Tobey was a flop. So we do have a decent amount of people. It's not a huge difference in ratio, but we have a decent amount of people that aren't happy with what Hot Toys has done. So I'm glad to know that we're not just being total crybabies about it. But again, for those that are happy with that one,
we are, but some of it's justified.
Yeah. We're gonna move on. We're not gonna spend too much time. This is a release. I just wanted to, kind of say my piece with this one. I think this is as close to the prototype as you can get. Very pleased with Savage here. That head sculpt is so awful. I actually have the main, the new DX Maul, the non-screaming sculpt on my Clone Wars Maul, and it looks phenomenal. And it kind of just sits on the head because the neck is like that magnetic style on this figure. But dude, like, what a beast! And you know, this also comes with the mechanical arm that was replaced by the Night Sisters when he lost his arm. And dude, that head sculpt is nasty. It's so good, man. And you know, I see this, and again, as I always say, big shout out to my boy Zord, now being an official blogger. He has clearly seen, or either he hasn't seen Clone Wars and he just very much paid attention to the references, but these are some of the most badass shots for a Star Wars figure I've seen in quite a while. Paying true tribute, Lane, to the scene where Sidious just walks in and disrespects the shit out of both of them with ease.
That facial expression there is exactly what Jake Paul saw as Anthony Joshua was staring at him and his fist was flying at his face.
Lane, you just pulled that out of nowhere.
Oh my god.
What in the world?
But just know this scene, like, you have become a rival. Dude, like, these photos, bro.
Never do your Palpatine voice ever again.
Oh, okay, Lane. But yeah, like I'm seeing.
Can we get that throne? Can we actually get that
I'm seeing this
throne?
like the Siege of Mandalore throne here, and I'm like, damn, like, why didn't
he tagged somebody for that? Actually, he tagged
the person who actually made it.
Yeah,
that's sick.
I do have to say, I think it is funny for Savage, which feels like a kind of honestly a figure that has just kind of been forgotten about. Probably just because there's too many darn 1/6 sale figures coming out from Hot Toys where he just kind of disappears into the book a little bit, especially like maybe just even with the Indy getting announced and all this, you know, far better known stuff where you're naturally just going to have your dog squirrel moment and move your eyes over towards that. Like doing these kind of photos, not for a lot of people, but doing such great photos like this helps sell this figure to people who might be on the fence or may not be super familiar with the figure, but just seeing all the amazing things you can do and using the different looking parts he comes with, like, help show them off. That it's not going to help sell a ton of figures because obviously this is going to be very hardcore who are going to look at this stuff. But this help with using the eye rolling function like there and everything. These kind of really dynamic photos help sell. Yeah, just how he looks and everything.
Like, look at that change in expression. We know it's the same head sculpt, but look at that shot and then look at this one. Yeah. Look at the different look with just changing the eyes. You know, that's why we hold such value in moving eyeballs. You know what I mean? The rolling eyeballs.
And these can help sell a few of those figures. Like, I honestly think Savage is a figure we're eventually going to see probably on.
Dude,
like, it'll be on a sideshow, like, discount code or something. I just don't think he's going to sell out because I think there's too much stuff. You know, there have been a lot of really good figures, like from Ahsoka and other stuff that are sold or risen from the dead, like Captain Enoch or something, you know, from the waitlist grade.
Yeah, I want to point this out too with this one. You know, with a lot of these Sith eyeballs, they've made the eyeball like too orange, and it seems like they've improved them with Savage because it's more yellow like it's supposed to be. Because even like all of the malls, like I had all these Topo sets, and I swapped out the eyeballs on most of those with the Topo eyes because they were correct and not like super orange. And yeah, dude, phenomenal. Dude,
freaking
sculpt's so bad.
Yeah, Sidious, a legend for taking on these two at once.
Oh, dude, he punked them so much. Like he walked in at first. You know, here's the thing about Sidious, right? Sidious throughout his life had so much confidence in his abilities with the Force that he felt like using lightsabers was like archaic, like, you know, you're beneath me. I'm not
like a joke.
Right. So literally in this scene, we see him just toying with them. Like that's literally all he's doing. He's just playing them.
And he made his lightsabers out of the material that the Jedi really hated using too.
Right. Like dude is a savage. I think people underestimate Sidious / Palpatine as like one of the goated villains of all time, because he really is like, dude. It's not Vader. It's, as much as I love Vader, he's like my favorite character, obviously, but Palpatine / Sidious, dude, untouchable villain. But man, this figure is beautiful, and I love that they did the robot arm like in two different forms.
And it looks like it's relatively easy to switch out, like not
like the Wolverine. Not like the Wolverine.
Probably because it's a larger figure.
Yes, exactly. 100%. But dude, yeah, he turned out excellent, like almost identical to the prototype, and that's all you can ever ask for, you know, as close to the prototype as possible. But yeah, we won't spend too much time on it, but man, I think they freaking killed it, dude. Like, and again, I highly recommend if you have this Clone Wars mall, if you haven't already, because literally what this Clone Wars sculpt is the Solo sculpt like shrunk. It's like squeezed down, so it looks super weird. If you have the new DX Phantom Menace mall and this, I highly recommend putting that sculpt, one of those sculpts on this figure. It really transforms it. It really does, and that's what I have on mine. It looks so good. And it won't magnetize because it's a different connector, but it will just sit on the neck, and it hasn't fallen off for me or anything. So trust me when I say, I know everybody loves this like Siege of Mandalore Clone Wars mall look. Give it a shot. It looks great. And Moose, I did open up and thank you so much, Rusty. He said Legacy Dioramas is who made that Mandalore throne. Moose, I did put up a poll for you, my friend. So anybody that wants to vote their thoughts on Indy, the poll will be up as we continue to talk about these figures. Which Spider-Man did you order? The new one, I'm guessing. I'm guessing you're talking about the new Spider-Man. If so, congrats on the order, dude. And like I said, I thought that was actually pretty fairly priced for what it was. $325, I think, with that big diorama base and everything is awesome. So, yes, it is, Sean. I love the Clone Wars, and I could talk about the Clone Wars forever. Forever and ever. I love the Clone Wars.
Let me ask you guys, because I know we're going to be having to move on here, though. But I'm guessing, have anybody in chat, or you guys, have gotten some of the, final payment or charging for some of the figures we've been waiting on recently, like the Snowtrooper Commander?
Yeah, I think we all kind of got.
I
those,
got smacked.
Amazing Spider-Man. But one thing that you guys noticed, and I just wanted to ask, how do you feel about this? So, like, the only one I got was Snowtrooper Commander, but that doesn't mean I have like another one of the figures finally coming soon, but I am not getting it directly from Sideshow. Like, my Snowtrooper Commander email says, hey, we're going to be charging you like the full amount on Friday. However, we don't have any shipping information. Like, there's no shipping charge, or we don't know what this is yet. And I've seen multiple people get that email without having that on there, so they don't know how much the shipping's going to be. So I'm like, is Sideshow charging us all this money now for whatever we owe on the figure? And like, hey, we're going to actually ship to you in like 3 weeks or something?
I mean, we know that they've done that in the past. So yeah. I mean, I think they're probably going to start doing that more often. I mean, I got like 6 emails, and obviously some of those I'm like, yep, you're going back on the payment plan. But yeah, I got 6 emails of just random figures, and I had to prioritize like which ones I want now and which ones I can afford to wait on. But yeah, they have been doing that lately. I can't remember which figure in particular, but not long ago they charged me, and I had to wait like 2 weeks for it to actually ship. So with it being approaching Chinese New Year, where everything kind of shuts down and we get a break, like they're probably just trying to get those invoices out there and get this stuff moving, get their money, and because they know it's going to come to a screeching halt here in the next February
2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me they're doing that, because it's right before Chinese New Year, and yeah, they're just trying to get their money in where they can, start shipping stuff out and get it moving. Obviously the US doesn't shut down for Chinese New Year, but where these figures come from does. So we do get a little bit of a break that is definitely well needed. But guys, I do want to move on, because we're an hour and a half in. We're pacing good, but we do have to do our giveaways and our list as well. So I do want to talk about something that is incredibly exciting for me, and that is Hot Toys has finally shown us an Arkham Origins 1/6 scale figure. I could not be more excited for this. You can see pre-orders start January 8th, so I imagine this will get announced in the next couple days. I couldn't be happier. I mean, so look at what we've gotten from the Arkham games in the past year and a half. We got a gold Batman Beyond. No one cared about that. We got the purple variant for Batgirl. No one cared about that. That is a limited figure that was sitting in stock and probably still is. We got the Hellbat XE suit. We got the main XE suit, and then we got Nightwing. I do imagine that Nightwing will start moving a little bit now, because we have a companion piece for it, because obviously a lot of us, either abandoned this line and sold off the figures because they were very old and outdated. I mean, at one point I had Arkham Knight, I surprisingly never had an actual Batman figure because I just didn't care for the old figures from them. I had the Arkham Knight. I had Deathstroke. I told you I hated that figure. I had Harley at one point. I literally opened the box and I was like, nope. Put it back in, sold it because it just looked really outdated. But this is extremely, extremely exciting. I can't even put it into words because I thought Hot Toys had completely abandoned the thought of giving us a main suit Batman figure other than these BS little variant suits that they've been doing, which are cool, but they're just not for me. And now I'm looking at this and I'm like, shit, I think I'm going to get the XE suit because, and I'm sure some of you saw me make like an ISO post on Facebook for it, because now I'm like, shit, if they're doing an Arkham Origins suit, are they going to do a Mr. Freeze? Maybe. And if they do a Mr. Freeze, I'm going to be pissed I don't have that XE suit. So I'm definitely debating on it. And I will say this, when Nick and I were talking about this earlier, he pointed out a couple interesting things. One, the cape has damage on it, so I wonder if there's potentially going to be a swap out cape. Hopefully a drape cape for me. But also, they did like the little electricity effects. And I think that looks really cool. Like, I wonder if it's going to be USB powered or if that's just like some sort of weird little like a video effect they're doing there. But regardless, I think that looks super cool, man. I mean, this is just so iconic and so cool. And like, this is, again, for me, out of all the Arkham games, this is probably my favorite suit next to Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
And this is freaking amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Like Nick is saying, he forgives them for all the Tobies. Like, dude, like, yeah, like what a way to follow it up. You screw us over on the Battle Damaged Tobey, but then you follow it up and you give us an Arkham Origins Batman that we've been begging for years. And Hot Toys is certainly starting the year with some banger nostalgia. You know what I mean? We got Indy, we got Battle Damaged Tobey, and then we got Arkham Origins Batman. Like, dude, that has to get you excited. Fig, like, what are the possibilities? Like, are they finally going to bust out some X-Men? Who knows, dude? Like, I don't want to get your hopes up, but like, holy shit, like they're starting the year off like this. Am I going to get more Back to the Future stuff finally? Are we going to get like, you know, Griff or Biff or, you know, they're busting out some nostalgia already. And we just started. We're just getting started, you know, so.
Dude. You know, I'm super happy for the video game collectors right now. You know, y'all been eating so good the past 2 years. I say y'all because dude. I'm not one of them, but like, I'm super happy with all the video game collectors because they're getting Wukong. They're getting
Lim Toys did
stuff.
Lim Toys with the Last of Us video game stuff that they announced, like the Clicker, Joel
Nathan
Ellie,
Drake as well.
Nathan Drake, yeah, man.
I mean, it's just so much stuff. A few Silent Hill figures dropped, I don't know, a couple years ago, or one or two of them. I'm hearing rumors and rumblings that InArt is trying to acquire the Resident Evil video game license. I mean, video games are at an all-time high right now, and Spider-Man video games, of course. So I'm just really happy for I'm the kind of guy that even if I'm not getting it or I have zero interest in purchasing it, I'm happy for others that's getting it and been waiting for it. And that's what I expect this community to be, you know, be happy for others and what their wants are within the community, especially if it makes sense, you know, within the parameters of this whole hobby, you know?
Right. Like, you know, like every time I see a Lord of the Rings figure, I'm like, dude, like that turned out so good. Like, you know, especially like, you know, what's his name that was recently from The Hobbit? Thorin. When Thorin was released and we saw like, I mean, we had already previously seen it before the release, but when we saw that like complete makeover of the figure, I'm like, that is incredible. Like, it looks so much better and so much closer to the source material. And yeah, you love to see it. Like, even if it's not something for you, like, it's cool to see. Like I said, the K-pop Demon Hunters thing, there's no way in hell I'm buying those. But that's super cool to me because I know how big K-pop Demon Hunters is right now. You know, and I think a lot of people are excited for those figures more than I thought there would be. And I think this is actually a popular opinion. I love this game. I mean, do people actually... Maybe you're being sarcastic, and I should pick up on that. But I love Arkham Origins. I like all of these games. Like Sean said, dude, like... I have always been a Batman fan my entire life. And a lot of my love for Batman, apart from the live-action stuff and Batman the Animated Series, came from these games. Like... There's no games like them. Like, they dove into so much, and all the little Easter eggs and the little side things you could do and the random events and, like, the character development and the voice acting. We had Kevin Conroy, not for Origins, but for all the other games. We had freaking Kevin Conroy voicing Batman. Like, dude, it's like...
costume designs.
costume designs, the alternate costumes, like these games were groundbreaking, and we see that inspiration with a lot of the newer games, like Spider-Man. Look at the Spider-Man games, dude. Like they certainly took inspiration with the customization and the open world aspects from these games. These games were very groundbreaking at the time, and they still are so playable. And I'm definitely due for a replay of the whole series, and it just wants you to, it just makes you want to dive back in seeing figures like this. And like from, you know, Nick and I and Al, we were talking about the Deathstroke from LPZZ and all the stuff they're doing, and like the in-art Origins Batman and all the stuff they're going to do from the Arkham games. Like it's super exciting, and it makes you just want to dive back into the games. And like I'm getting all these Fallout figures. I love the Fallout games, some of my favorite games of all time, and getting all these Fallout figures in, and it just makes me want to play Fallout. And like I love that about these figures. You know, Red Dead Redemption, amazing figures from Limb Toys. I just got the it's not by Limb Toys, but the Micah Hughes figure. I just got that in, and it just makes me want to dive back in and replay and relive that awful bastard of a character, and how his story played out with Arthur in the end. And that's what I love about these figures. You know, it makes you want to get back into the games, you know, because nowadays, like, all my buddies want to play multiplayer stuff, so I don't have as much time. I don't have as much time for single player stuff lately, but it makes me want to dive back into it and make time, you know. That's fair. That's fair, Z. That's definitely fair. Dude, you know what I would love, Nick, if we got like the sickly Joker is what I want. Like, you know, because those scenes were so crazy, like the dynamic between Batman and the Joker, and like, you know, the visions he was having and stuff. It would be cool to get like a sickly Joker figure. Like, I'd be down for that. And I told you, we were talking about this earlier, I know you really want Bane. Bane would be fire. My number one choice for villain would be, I was about to say Killer Croc. Killer Croc would be cool, but Scarecrow. I love Scarecrow from the Arkham games. I think it's my favorite representation of Crane. I just think he's so dark, and no more hope, no more Batman. Like, dude, so good, man. The voice acting in these games were so good.
It doesn't hurt that he was voiced by Denethor.
Right, like they were kind of starting off with a win
kind of
already.
a crazy evil guy. Yeah, they picked the perfect actor to play Scarecrow.
I know, dude. Like, again, the voice actors made these games for me, because that's something I've always appreciated. And then we got Kevin Conroy, dude. I know, dude. Scarecrow would be so fire. Any villain really would be so good. But yes, we've been waiting for an Arkham Batman for so long. The older ones are just outdated, and this is what we needed. This is the medicine we needed, and I'm so happy. And obviously, we don't have much to go off of, so this is just kind of a quick reaction to the video. We'll have to stay tuned on the 8th, and I'll probably be losing my mind when it gets dropped. I'm sure Nick will probably go live on Instagram like he always does and lose his mind. But yeah,
Day one PO?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I mean, I day one pre-ordered Absolute Batman. If I'm going to pre-order that, certainly Arkham Origins Batman is going to be a day one, because that did that.
Minute one pre-order.
Yeah, right. Second one pre-order. As soon as it goes up, I'm there. See me on there. But what's up, by the way, Johnny Chronicles? What's up, my friend? One more thing, guys, and then we're going to get into our tier list, so be prepared. I'm giving you a little forewarning before we get into it. Little update from Topo. I told you guys I was speaking with Topo about doing a faceplate and eyeball set for a Grievous. It's happening. They're moving forward with it. We have some renders here. You can see they've modified the damage before and after here. Still some changes I think they're going to make, but overall, much more accurate. I mean, the references I gave them, dude, like, you can't get better references from Revenge of the Sith. They were spot on, like, right on his face. And they've done a much better job on the cracks. You won't have poop smears like on the original one. And yeah, I'm very, very excited for this, because that figure is beautiful, and the faceplate with the smear on it just bothers the hell out of me. So this is coming.
Rolling eyes, right?
The eyeballs are coming. Rolling eyeballs. Yep. They are basically like 3D casting or 3D scanning the Hot Toys mask and then modifying it. So it will be like basically the same fitment and technology and everything that Hot Toys use. Arkham Knight for sure, because Arkham Knight was like my favorite, you know, my favorite scenes with Scarecrow. So 100% Arkham Knight is what I would want. Yep, day one. 100% day one, bro. Like, been waiting for it for too long. We got to show Hot Toys we want that son of a bitch. All right, so guys, we are now going to get into our top lists. I'll pull this up here. We're going to be talking about our top 1/6 scale releases of 2025. Now, guys, the way we're going to do this is the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna do, if anybody has any, bro, Fig's like cracking the back, getting ready for it.
Yeah.
We'll do honorable mentions if anybody has some. If you didn't write any honorable mentions, it's okay. You can skip on that. But guys in the chat, I really want you guys to follow along. So as we're saying our honorable mentions or saying our number 5s, like, please share it. I want to hear your guys' lists as well. Or if you want to drop your whole list at once, feel free to do that. But I think it'd be more fun if we're kind of just going through it and kind of sharing honorable mentions. So you could do all of the honorable mentions at one time if you want to. So I'm going to pull my list up here on my phone. So here's 2 honorable mentions. I'll keep it at 2 because I have 4 on here, but I don't want to. This can go on forever. Number 1, Lim Toys Nathan Drake. The Lim Toys Nathan Drake, guys, if you haven't bought a product from Lim Toys, there's 2 things you can expect from Lim Toys. That was 4. 2 things you can expect from Lim Toys. They're going to take absolutely forever to release the figure. But when they do, the second part of that is their work is phenomenal. Like truly top tier, licensed quality work. Better than 3.0, better than a lot of other third-party companies, like Hot Toys quality and above work. Like spray, airbrushed veins, seamless forearms, the whole 9 yards. Incredible paint apps, like. So the Lim Toys Nathan Drake very much surprised me. The Easter eggs that they threw into the figure, into the packaging, just there's a hidden coin in his pocket. Like, dude, just so cool. So cool. Such a fantastic figure. Everything from Lim Toys that I own is like top tier. And I'm very impressed by that. And then second, there's a reason I had to give this figure an honorable mention. I gave this figure an honorable mention strictly because I have said to you guys so many times, I dislike this suit. I was never a big fan of this suit in the films. It wasn't my favorite suit. But then I saw the figure release. And I just, dude, I fell in love with it. I truly did. I think Hot Toys did such an amazing job. And now I have all these plans for this figure. But I had the TASM 2 suit. That is my favorite Garfield suit. And when I saw this, bro, I'm like, I'm done. Give me the TASM 1. Like, the proportions, that head sculpt, like, dude, like, it's special. It really is. Like, that's the best way to describe it. They've done an amazing job here, and I couldn't be happier. So this head sculpt is going to go on the Rise work, Peter Parker set with the dunks and everything, and then I'm going to get the Toy Stay mask for this guy, and I'm gonna do it up, bro. I'm gonna do it up. Like, this deserves an honorable mention for sure. So those are my 2 honorable mentions. Fig, we'll jump to you, but again, I just wanted to give credit to that figure because I was not going to get it because I'm a fan of the suit and figure form now, at least. I could say that. I don't know about going back to live action and how I feel about it, but yeah, those are my 2 honorable mentions. Fig, what about you?
Okay, my 2 honorable mentions, I'm going to start with, even though it wasn't all the way done the way I was hoping Nick could get it there with the, with the protest, but Symbiote Black Suit Spidey is I do like the mods they did to the body, the slight mods they did. The Dio looks good, but it's not functional. But overall, you can work with it if you're a good poser. You can make it, you can finesse it. And like, I'm gonna get a few mods done to it to kind of perfect it. So, like, overall though, Symbiote Spidey is my favorite Spidey in general, whether it's comics, video game, any realm. Symbiote Spidey is my favorite Spidey. So that figure definitely has to be mentioned. The only reason it's not higher is because it wasn't perfected.
I think that's a great spot to put it, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Moving on, my next one would be the Flash from the Solo film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would give that. First of all, the Flash is my favorite DC Comics character.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's surprising. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm random. Like,
so were you big into the CW show?
You know what? At first, I did like it. I did like it at first, but it's something. No offense, it's just something a little cheesy about this.
It's low budget. It's low budget.
Yeah, Yeah. But I like the thought of it. But to be honest with you, it all started with Justice League, the animated series. When I used to watch that, and funny enough, Michael Rosenbaum was the voice for him from Smallville.
Yeah.
And what solidified it was that episode of Smallville when Kid Flash or Flash was on it and he raced Clark at the end and was running backwards. Oh my God, legendary scene, right? So the Flash is my guy. And I always give him a chance. Like, first of all, when they did the Snyder cut of Justice League, there were 2 moments on there that stood out. The first one was when he was in the pet store trying to apply for a job, and I forget her name, but Iris West was about to get into a car accident, and like I love super speed in film, so like the way he just kind of like pivoted both his feet and his sneakers just burst into fucking like shreds, like that was magical to me, and him going out there. Like, that was an amazing scene. And also at the end, when he just rewinded time, running through, through the field that he was at, and he was saying that little, that montage to himself, and kind of like, that was a great moment. But in general, the Flash, I give him a little bit of respect. Even though the movie disappointed me, I give it a little respect because that's my favorite character, and the suit was pretty good.
Yeah, the suit was cool.
So as a figure, even though the figure can't pose well, I think that's why I knock it down a little bit, and the gaps in the ankles.
Yeah,
that's the reason ugly. I kind of that's why I knock it down a little bit. But the light in the chest, the swap out top end of of his helmet,
with the lenses, really dope.
Yeah, I really don't care for the Barry sculpt, honestly. Obviously because of the guy and
Ezra Miller.
Damn Ezra Miller ruining his own legacy. Anyways, that guy, and also because I'm not a civilian look guy. If I get a chance, I'm always gonna go for the hero look, no matter what.
Yeah.
So the Flash is my next honorable pick, and let me get off the mic for you fellas.
Those are good ones. Those are definitely good ones. Like I'm kind of the same way with Batman. Batman always gets his cowl, but that's why I love the Bruce Wayne looks, me, which is unfortunate because I have to get a Bruce Wayne of every Batman. But yeah, I totally agree. Like the hero look, you have to have the cowl or the mask or whatever their default look is. Yeah.
Facts.
Chris, we're going to jump to you. Do you have any honorable mentions or are you passing on honorable mentions?
No, I do. I have
Let's hear it.
So my first one's going to be Inart Ron. I say Ron because he's my favorite character in Harry Potter compared to the rest of what I have on my list. You'll see why I put others above him. I don't think the body's like the best in the world for some reason with the trio. I don't think none of them are like perfect, but I do like everything that came with him. I like his sculpt. I think it portrays Ron perfectly. And like I said, he's just my favorite character out of the trio in general. My second, and the robes, how they paid attention to detail, like they're worn and stuff like that. My second one is going to be Hot Toys General Grievous.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Blue Sideshow out of the water. I do think they dropped the ball with how the face is or whatever, and thankfully Topo's doing it properly. The eyes is a mess, but like, dude, that figure, the die cast, how big he is, USB lightsabers. I mean, he's in the display. He definitely grabs my attention almost every time. Like, it's a menacing figure for sure. So those are my top two. Or I would say honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions, yeah. Great choices.
It must be great to actually be able to see him and not still be waiting on him.
All right, Lane. Well, we'll move to you. Lane,
Thanks,
what are your
Chris.
honorable? If you have honorable mentions, Lane, what are your two? Honorable
I have three.
mentions? Three. Okay, go ahead.
So first off is going to be Chewbacca from Empire Strikes Back. I think that is just an amazing figure. It's not one I got. I just wasn't willing to spend like $430 on Chewbacca.
Lane, you're cheating my rules of the game.
Cheating the rules.
No.
We'll let him have it. We'll let him have it for an honorable.
What do you mean I'm cheating? You said if you had however many, so I have three.
Maybe I didn't word it how I did to them. I said in hands. Maybe I didn't throw that in there. Well, keep your list, Lane. Go ahead. That's on me.
This is honorable mentions.
Right. That's why I said. I said honorable mentions. We'll let you have it. Go ahead. Go ahead, Lane.
And then, and also it's the Japanese 70s Spider-Man, which I can't actually buy because it wasn't released here. I love that figure. I love Japanese Spider-Man, the emissary from hell. And then my final one was Batman Returns, Keaton Batman.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Because that I'm still like, I haven't gotten that one in yet. I'm still waiting on it. But I just thought that one, well, I'm going to be waiting longer because I'm getting it through my LCS. So that way I did not actually have to pay shipping or have to pay any tariff at all. So I'm starting to order more through them. I have to wait longer, but I get to pay less money. But those would be my 3 for actually coming in.
Nice.
This year.
Nice. Good honorable mentions. And I think they're all fair because, like, I noticed everybody put honorable mentions of figures that weren't quite perfect, but you appreciated, like, if Hot Toys made changes or they did mostly a good job on it. You know what I mean? Like General Grievous or, you know, the Flash, like, good examples for sure. So moving on to number 5, guys. My number 5, probably not much of a surprise to a lot of you, but the Hot Toys Feral Predator. So the Hot Toys Feral Predator, to me, from what's been released thus far, is the most, like, honest, accurate take on a Predator stock. And you know me, I always get my stuff modified, and it's not perfect. There's missing quills on the body. I'm not a huge fan of, like, the sculpted in plastic on the ankles instead of using actual cloth material. But generally speaking, the Feral Predator has an incredible amount of presence. I think Hot Toys did a great job on the build. And the reason it made my top 5 is, one, because I'm a huge Predator fan, but also that upgrade to the seamless torso was so appreciated because that original torso, it didn't really look that bad. It wasn't like Spider-Man 2099, the Hasbro, you know, look, Marvel Legends, I should say. But they improved on that realism by adding that seamless torso. And as a collector, I really appreciated that. And I look at that figure all the time, and I have it front facing my Predator section. And it means a lot to me to have that figure. I love that movie. I've been begging friends of mine that make figures for Naru for the longest time. And I love that movie. And to have that representation is so awesome to me. So yeah, my number 5, the Feral Predator by Hot Toys. Fig, we'll go to you. What's your number 5?
Well, my number 5 will have to be the regular Artisan Anakin.
Oh, good choice. Good choice.
Yeah, I will give it 5. It's a great figure, honestly. Luckily, I got a good batch with the hair. Some people try to diss me and say the hair looks wet or something. I'm like, hey, look, if it looks the way it looks, it's supposed to look, I'm happy.
You're like, I've seen my copy, pal. I know what mine looks like. That's funny.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, I'm good. Like, as long as it's good enough. You feel me? Like,
right.
It's a difficult hairstyle in the first place.
100%. Yeah.
The only flaw that made it drop so low are 2 things, actually. One is the fact that from the proto to the final, which is an issue with Hot Toys, except for Star-Lord from Guardians of Galaxy 3, they end up making their eyes a little too big for the rolling eye figures.
Yeah.
And that's really the only flaw. The face is great. Pleather tabards, of course, we don't like that. We never like that.
No.
You know, and then the final issue is the fact that they flooded us with Anakin this year. After that point, they kind of, 4 Anakins within the year from release to announcements. It's like, at that point, you're kind of like dissolving the hype of that figure because you're flooding the market. So that's why I kind of put them at 5, all those reasons.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's a great number 5. Chris, we're moving on to you. Let's hear your number 5.
So
1/6 scale figure of the year.
Let me put this out here. Everything that I probably have in this room, I could pick something that I don't like about it. But
of course, we had to. It was hard to pick 5, and that's why I limited it to 5 because you really got to have a specific reason to put it in your top 5. So
right. So number 5 in our Michael Jackson.
Woo! I have one behind me.
What?
Was that you? Sorry about that, Chris.
No, my favorite figure is Michael.
Yeah. There's mine right there.
No, growing up, loved Michael Jackson. Like one of the saddest days when he passed.
Where's Bubbles?
The fact that
So crazy.
that another company picked them up and did it. Like I missed out on the Hot Toys. They were dated. I like the sculpt, the rooted hair, and the stage, the background. Mine did have a little bit of QC issues when it came. I was lucky.
Same.
Most of it got fixed, and then the
Yeah.
other part I was able to fix myself. But I can't tell you how many times when I'm in this room drawn to that figure. I just love looking at it. So
Yeah.
5 is Michael for me.
That's a good choice. You know, and for me, I was so hesitant to put it in my top 5 because, you know, I had issues. I had to get my box replaced twice because it kept arriving just completely annihilated. And, you know, to InArt's credit, they were very responsive. They replaced my stuff and, you know, credit to them. But like I told you earlier, sometimes you could have a figure, you get it in hand, and it's just not quite what you expect. And you know it looks good, but then that experience reminds you of why it's not going to make it in your top 5. And I love this figure, and I've grown to love it. I've got the Smooth Criminal because I also obviously love Michael Jackson like we all do. And
I just constantly hear the music.
He's crazy, though. I keep thinking, where's Bubbles? There's something wrong with you, dude. That's messed up, bro. That's crazy.
They lied.
They lied. I would never do that. Lane, moving on to you, my friend. What is your number 5 1/6 scale release of the year?
And real quick, we're just doing releases, not also pre-orders for the year, right?
Correct. We're just doing
This
releases
part is
first. Releases first, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, my number 5 was Black Widow 2.0.
Oh, that's a
The
good
artist
one.
thing.
Yeah.
I did end up actually returning the figure before I opened it, but I think the figure was great just because. Well, no, it wasn't going to change my collection mind, but it is the one I think that helped solidify the artisan line in some respects because she had some of the trick. Like that was one, the hair and all that kind of stuff really had to hit, like really did, and they nailed it. It's lower on my list just because the suit for the thing doesn't really allow for very much, if any, posing. That's from everybody who told me who got it. Kind of was just like, dude, you can't leave it in a pose. Like that suit is like an old Spider-Man suit, an old Spider-Man bodysuit or something.
Yeah, it has that look to it.
Yeah, so they said, but I mean, she has enough presence anyway where you can have her in a very basic, you know, gun holding pose or something like that, where you don't have to go too funky. But it just kind of, it just sat a little bit because in Iron Man 2, in that look, she did have a couple really cool action scenes where you really got to see some, obviously her famous plant scene and all that kind of stuff, but her actually do some pretty cool scenes and fights and movements.
And I think that figure, like you said, there's some artisan figures that have kind of fallen short, but I think Black Widow looks really good, and I think most people have been very happy. And by the way, shout out to my dude, Tokyo Joey. Good to see you, bro. I enjoyed watching your tier list that you did with Kaiju, and I was very happy to see. I think yours was your number 1, or it was in your top 5, the comic Venom. I know you really liked it. I can't remember where that was on your list. And then you had, I think, maybe your number 1 was the China Trooper, or the Japan Trooper. Maybe that was your number 1. But you had a great list, and yeah, it's very tough, dude. It's very tough because there's so much stuff. Like I said, I limited us to 5. You guys did 10. And obviously it was harder for you because you guys did 1/6 and 1/12. We're doing just 1/6 here. And yeah, so I know yours was tough. Yeah, that's one that I have not considered canceling. There's other artisan Marvel stuff that I'm like, maybe I don't need it. But Black Widow, that's my girl. And I got to get that one. That's a look. Yeah, we know. But Lane, great pick, dude. We're going to move on to number 4. This is going to be a very shocking one. Number 4 for me, guys, is the Hot Toys Samurai Predator. I cannot stress enough, when you see this figure in hand, if you ever have the opportunity to, you will feel the same way I feel about it, and that it does not feel like a Hot Toys product. It feels like they hired a custom artist to do this work, and he did a run of custom figures, and he put like so much love and care into it. And yeah, some people may have gotten ones where like the magnets came unglued or something, but generally speaking, like what they created with that figure, and did I miss your list? I'll go back. If you made comments, I'll go back to your list and pull it up. Oh, and then OG dropped his list. Okay. But the attention to detail and the different ways that they presented that figure, the special packaging, the instructions came in like a folded, like ancient looking paper that they created, and the figure is just heavy. The paintwork is amazing. Just everything about it, the accessories it comes with. It's like one of those figures you're like so scared to touch it. It's like some in-art figures when you open it, you're like, they feel so premium, you don't want to touch it. And that's how I felt
Work of art.
unboxing that. Exactly. That's how I felt with the Samurai Predator. And every time I look at it, I'm like, and I have the OG Samurai Predator, and I was so excited for this one. And there's just something about that deep red color contrasting with that green skin tone. It just does it for me. And I hope everybody has the opportunity to experience that one in person, because it truly is beautiful. And even if you don't own it, maybe you'll see it somewhere at a comic store or something. And it's amazing. So that's got to be my number 4. Fig, we'll move on to you. We'll just, every time I go, guys, just, you know, we'll move in sequence as we've been doing. But Fig, number 4, release of the year.
Okay. Is a set cheating?
No. If they come together, they come together. That's fair game. Fair game. I think I know what you're about to say, so go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna go Armory 2.0.
You know? Yep. I knew you were gonna say that for good reason. For good reason.
Yeah. Yeah, good reason. The Batman is amazing, actually. I really think that Batman is very nice. I think it's about, if the DX19 was an 8, maybe in its heyday, an 8.5 out of 10. This is about a 9, 9.5. Like, it's gonna take good effort from InArt to kind of top it, honestly. Like, I mean, just in the sense of it, the shape of the cowl is damn near perfect. Like, it has that kind of like the poke out near the back behind the cheeks. Like, it's a great figure. The only flaw of it, to be honest with you guys, is the Bruce Wayne. The sculpt is actually better than what most people thought from Justin's review that did it. His was tan for some weird reason. I don't know, but
yeah,
like mine's wasn't that tan. But the issue is just they didn't really properly plan out the way the sculpt went into the body, and it has this weird hunched look, you know. And honestly, as well, I already told you guys I'm not a civilian look collector, so that's also a reason that I'm kind of putting it to the side. I'm just, honestly, if InArt makes a Dark Knight Batman, I would buy that as my individual Batman, and I would put the suit back in the Armory and just have it like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, and that's a great pick, and you and I were talking about it. I actually had such a fun time, like, actually putting the accessories in all the slots and everything. It felt like weirdly, like, kind of like therapeutic. You're just chilling there, like, sitting there putting the accessories in. And like you said, they laid them out all in the plastic, so it kind of made sense where you had to put them in all. Like, it's a great set, and I agree. Like, the improvements they made from someone who previously, like myself, owned the DX19. I still have a couple figures that use the DX19 suit, like the Imposter Joker and the WB100 Batman. I can reference that in real time and be like, damn, they made a lot of improvements. So, yeah, great choice for number 4 for sure. Chris, moving on to you. Number 4.
Yes, sir. For me, number 4, Hot Toys Deluxe Darth Maul with the speeder.
That's a good choice.
So, I think the likeness to Ray Park is uncanny, like, looks spot on. The fact that you get two different looks for him is amazing as well. And then I think the proportions, tailoring, and having him on that spirit, like, that's another piece that I'm just always drawn to when I look at it and stuff, and it looks really, really cool in the display.
Yeah, and what I love about that mall is, like, they didn't have to, like, reinvent the wheel. They just made improvements where needed. And those head sculpts, to me, out of all the amazing Darth Maul merch, you know, PCS did their 1/3 scale Maul that looks amazing. I think Hot Toys has the best Ray Park likeness on those head sculpts. They did such a great job, and it's phenomenal. It really is.
And there's no complaints on the robe either.
Robe's a lot better. Yeah, the robe's a lot better. The speeder's awesome. It's basically the same thing, but USB power. But yeah, great set for sure. And I see we have a lot of votes for Scarlet Witch and Black Widow. So Lane, I think you have a popular choice there with your Black Widow. Lane, moving on to you, number 4.
For me, number 4 was the T800 clean and the Battle Damage 2.0.
So you're just kind of
Well, I was thinking this not necessarily something that I'm getting. I took this as our figures. I thought you meant the figures of the year. Kind of we have.
So,
That's
we're
why
gonna-
My man
Lane,
missed the assignment.
Lane, I'm gonna hold you to one or the other. Which one would you?
Well, no, I
two?
put both. I'm getting the T800 clean.
All right, they're
But
two
I
separate
figured
releases. Which one would you? If you had to pick one, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
T800 clean.
Clean. Okay, so we're putting clean at number 4. Go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry.
So that's the one I bought.
Okay.
But I consider them two of the same character. That's why I had them both. I just think both of them had a lot of nice improvements. The head sculpt may not be 100% better than the like DX12 and whatever I forget what the 11 or whatever it was that they were. But I think the pieces that come with it, the diorama base that like was with the battle thing. Like I just consider them two of the same thing, and they came out at the same time.
So you're just breaking my rules, Lane. You just love breaking. Lane's just a rule breaker. He's a loose
exactly. Cannon. But it is a really good. The clean one, especially, I just like with the chain gun and all that stuff. So that was one of the big contributions.
The rose box, like, come on now.
And honestly, it was a price for me. It was the price for 200. It was $50 difference, and I wanted the cheaper figure at the end of the day too. Yeah. So that was my number 4.
Great pick. And Jason, that just means that you have to take those 112s out of that list and make room for more 16 stuff. That's all that means. And yeah, Joey, I sold my DX17 for $350 right when the new mall was announced. So I made out, bro. I was happy with that. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Tim dropping his list, great list. Tim, Tim, no shocker. I know you're a man of taste, so of course you have some classic Universal horror on there. My Phantom of the Opera may have made my list, but I didn't get it because the whole shipping debacle, and it took them a lot to figure that out. So mine's still on the way. But that Creature from the Black Lagoon very much surprised me. As much as I clown on Mondo's animated stuff sometimes, that figure turned out great. My number 3, we're moving on to number 3 now. I hesitated on this one because I got so sick of seeing it in everybody's list. But then I was like, you know what? It deserves it. Because, Chris, you remember when I opened this figure and we were chilling on the phone and I opened this figure and you're sitting here telling me you're going to sell it. And I said, Chris, you better not sell this figure because it's freaking incredible.
I sold it.
And he sold it. But I did not. And I'm going to tell you this right now.
Before I opened it, too.
Yeah, he didn't give it a chance. But truly, I say this with 100% confidence. This is Hot Toys at their best. When they're capable of things like this, you want to see this effort with everything. This figure, to me, is nearly perfect. Sure, could we have had die-cast claws? Sure. But you've got a fantastic head sculpt. You've got swap-out arms with, very strong internal structure, not like Asmus where it caves on itself. You've got magnetic shoulder armor where you don't have to keep it on in a certain look. You could do literally whatever you want with it. There's magnets inside, both sets of arms. You got a swap out battle damage chest plate. You got your cowl with multiple different mouth plates. I mean, what more could you want? There's a reason this figure is so hyped up. It really is that good. And it didn't make my number 1 like it did for a lot of people, but it is a beautiful figure. And yeah, love it. Hot Toys did such a great job and they should be very proud of this one. It is really, really good. So yeah, that's my number 3. Fig, moving on to you, your number 3.
So I'm a fan of InArt, and I always would, not because of loyalty, but usually their figures, if I do purchase them, will end up in my top 5. Yeah. Unfortunately, I really didn't do a lot of orders for InArt this year because they didn't really make anything from the things that I like specifically. Mm-hmm. I say that to say my 3rd is Darth Maul. I got the standard edition because what I'm planning with my prequel shelf, it wouldn't make sense to have the speeder. That'll be the only vehicle, a part of the whole collection. It'll just be out of place. Man, let me tell you, that was my first introduction to Star Wars, Phantom Menace. I was about, that came out in 99. I was about 9 years old. I was like 9 years old watching that, bro. I remember my mom took me to Disney World back in the day, and I had this like tank top, like them 90s kids tank top with like his face on it, bro, like and Jar Jar and all types of stuff.
Yeah.
Bro, that face is iconic to me. Like him, like in the Duel of Fates, just like kind of like the calm demeanor about his face, just stone cold, bro. And you know, I have experience with Ray Park because of X-Men. He played Toad in the original X-Men, which I wish they'll make a figure of. But yeah, man, that figure is amazing, and he's arguably the villain. I mean, it's not even arguably. He is the villain of Phantom Menace. So if you ever are building a prequel shelf and you're building your Phantom Menace shelf, he is the guy for the villains right 100%. There. So I'm 100%. Thankful to have him, and they need to make more figures from Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I agree. I'd love to see, like, you know, Jake Lloyd, Annie,
Obi-Wan,
Queen Amidala, Obi-Wan, like
exactly.
Qui-Gon, bro.
I would buy Sebulba, but yeah, Qui-Gon needs a redo, bro.
Yeah. Bro, I would love a pod racer. Oh my god, it would be huge, but sick. I would love it. I'm not gonna lie.
Even just like the cockpit would be cool. Yeah. Okay, that was Mickey Mouse. Cool. That was Mickey Mouse. This is pod racing. Great list, Duck Collector, and great to see some love for Dark Empire Luke, because that artisan really surprised me. The hair on mine is literally perfect. He's actually like, you can't see him. He's down here. I have him on the Shadow Stormtrooper base. And it looks amazing, and I had that plan all along, so to finally have it in there is so cool. But yeah, great pick, dude. That's an awesome. Of course you did. Chris, your number 3 that you didn't sell.
Yeah. Going Hot Toys Jack Sparrow.
Oh, that's a good one,
dude. Yeah. Opening that I don't think there was and shockingly, it's not my number 1 because I rave on that thing. How many accessories? The base is incredible. The dreadlocks, like actual, because I got the we both, was it the deluxe exclusive version? What, the highest tier one that they did or whatever? It had like the fabric. Yeah, it had the fabric bandana and everything. Dude, actually, I will say the only gripe was that the hat. The hat's a little bit weird. It rises up and
yeah, like I've got the DX15 hat on mine.
Yeah. But dude, the flintlock, like pistols and no die-cast sword, but like that doesn't bother me. I think it still looks great, man. I love that figure, and we got some actual leather on that one. There was a bit of pleather, you know. It's like a mix, but there's some like the boots and stuff like that, and one of the belts is actual leather. So
yeah, and like just loaded with details. You know, it's funny, you know, I don't want to spoil my list, but that one didn't make my list strictly because I had the DX15 and there's so much familiarity there. It just, but I still love the figure and it's beautiful. And
yeah, it made mine because like for my first Jack Sparrow figure, like being that detailed, and I do love the films, I think.
That just reminds me of that Captain Barbossa, bro. I can't, dude. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, Mondo Clayface, dude, that one actually surprised me. Again, I love Batman the Animated Series. I'm a diehard Batman the Animated Series guy, and that Clayface looks awesome. I'm not a fan of a lot of those figures, but like also like the Two-Face, the Big Bad Harv, that's like one of my favorite villains, and like that whole arc, like good old Bruce, he's always there. You know what I mean? Like I wish that it looked better, and I didn't have a thing against the visible joints because the accessories, like the flipping coin and everything, and the straight jacket, so sick. And that Clayface with the Batman like head and like shoulder sticking out of his chest is so cool, bro. And thank you, Joey, by the way. Thank you so much, my friend, for becoming a Hotline Hottie. I very much appreciate you. You're too kind. And yes, I did see that about Ray Park. That is very unfortunate because I have been following him for years, and yeah, it's very unfortunate to see. And guys, keep dropping your lists as I see them. I'll do my best to kind of read them in between us going through ours. Nick said, I only got 516 figs this year and 4 customs, so my number 1 is In-Art Paul Atreides. Probably not. You know, it's funny, Nick, I held myself to a standard. I was telling Fig this. Like, technically, although Paul Atreides arrived for me this year, it released at the end of last year, so I was like, I'm not going to count it. I'm going to be harder on myself. But that Paul Atreides is so fire, dude. It's so good. And I feel like In-Art has done so many good figures, I feel like they don't talk about it. enough because they've just done so much. It's like it's lost by the wayside, but I love that figure to this day. And yeah, that rooted hair on mine is legit perfect. Like the hair is styled exactly like Timothy Chalamet in the film, and it's just so good. Yeah, great choice.
I love unboxing and
Oh, dude, I appreciate it. Better late than never, dude. You know, any support, it means the world to me. I really do appreciate it. And welcome to the Hotline Hotties, my friend. Lane, you're number 3.
Well, for me, I had my number 3. Oops, I screwed this up. I had Darth Vader Sith Apprentice.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a great figure. He's to my right.
Yep. That one, I just think unfortunately, I think that one kind of murdered all the anticipation, I think, for the regular episode 3 Anakin Artisan. That thing popped up. And obviously that's been undermined since then because they did the Mustafar actual episode 3 label version of that figure, basically. And then just decided to throw in a base from 2018 on top of it. But people were willing to pay $1,500 for that figure. And it just kind of squished the Artisan one, I think, a little bit because the timing was terrible.
And I have them all, Lane, because
you are Captain Anakin, man. I just think that boy. But
every time one's announced, I'm like,
yeah, I know. Just thanks, Shrek. But I just think that figure was really good. Now it still had some of the same problems was talking about with Artisan Anakin because we're like, hey, this is a super duper. Even when it came out, it was a very expensive exclusive. If you tried to pick it up at a celebration and everything, and they still use pleather on it. We always go, why are you on these super deluxe things using cheap materials? You know, it's one thing for a $225 trooper. Okay, I can kind of get where you use pleather on that one, but why on a $500 figure buying it from there was approximately how much it was going to be? Did you do that? Other than to be lazy. But I still don't think that takes away for how good the head sculpt was on it. Obviously, the Sith eyes were a little weird because they just, were because they were
based on the Ahsoka show and not like
now that it was basically confirmed completely, it was, hey, this was probably supposed to be an Ahsoka figure, maybe that they were originally when they were developing it, and then turned it into that Celebration exclusive. Because they're like, hey, we can just make a couple thousand of these and then sell them for a lot of money. But I still got it. I don't have any more because I use that money to help buy another figure, and I'm picking up the Mustafar edition.
Yeah, you traded it for what
the same thing basically.
What everybody wanted to get go. So, but great choice, dude. That's a great choice for sure. Like that's a figure that I own. It didn't make my list personally because again I had my own parameters for things. But great choice, Lane.
It was my only Anakin this year.
Yeah, there you go. It was not my only one, but Moving on to number 2. This was hard. My number 2 and number 1 were hard to choose between. Number 2 for me. For releases for this year, T800 Battle Damage by Hot Toys. It's another one of those figures, like I mentioned the Wolverine, but this figure is one of those figures when you open it up, you're like, they're capable of great things. You got a full leather outfit, 2 swappable head sculpts, the damaged arm, the AR, the grenade launcher. You get so many accessories, and the damage looks realistic on the clothing. It doesn't look like it's like punched out on a machine. It looks like it's done by hand, and the figure's got weight to it. The blood looks realistic. Like it's a very realistic looking figure. And then the display base is simple, but it's got a big platform that he could stand on. It lights up, and I can replicate that moment from the end of Terminator 2 where our boy went out on his shield and sacrificed himself for John. And it's amazing. The display base is beautiful. It's simple. It works. And it's an amazing figure. And I know Chris is sitting here like, damn, I wish I had mine because he's been fiending for it.
It would have made my list and the next list if I freaking, got.
But it's so good, dude. It really is so good. And Yeah, I'm proud to own it, and I cannot wait for the clean version. Mine has not showed up yet.
It's about to ship though.
Yeah.
It got charged.
Yeah, I did see people were getting their emails. So that's my number 2. Guys, we'll pick up the pace a little bit. So we'll try to like do a little bit less explanation just so we can get through our list because we have another one. But that's my number 2. Moving on to you, Fig.
Okay, my number 2 is going to be BVS Batman 2.0.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I'm gonna keep it plain and simple. I feel like the regular, like I love the fact that they gave you 2 different cows, the spinning cow, and the rotating cow, and also just the diode looks amazing if you got the deluxe. The suit looks great. The accessories are great. I mean, I really think that's a great figure right there. InArt is making one as well, but I feel kind of content, honestly, in this with that figure.
Yeah, I agree. And I told you before, maybe I'll pick up, well, I will pick up the InArt one as well, but I think that's also an awesome figure. And that was almost on my list, and I don't know why I didn't make it, but I just, went another way with it. And Jose, I did pull up your comment. I think I said hi to you. We'd have to check the game footage, but I'm fairly certain I said hi to you because I pulled up your joke about saying you're surprised it didn't cancel. So I think I did, but if I missed it, I apologize. But I know for a fact I at least pulled up your comment. But thank you so much for being here, Jose, as always. And yes, it is. I love that T800. It's so good. And Sal like halfway copied my list, just in different positions. So great list, Sal. Great minds think alike. Yeah, I got my Paul the first month in January 2025, but it released a little bit before that. So we got Gabe in the house. What's up, my friend? Appreciate you. Thanks for being here, my dude. Another hotline hottie. Gabe will be doing the giveaway for channel members after we're done our lists here. Chris, number 2.
Number 2. If there's one film like that I watched as much as Star Wars growing up, it's not the T800. It's this companion, the T1000. And I only say that because don't have that one yet, but also met Robert Patrick. I used to try to be the T800, and I just love those films. Topo's doing another set. I'm excited for to make improvements on it because it did have some flaws, but dude, so many accessories. The base lights up, big platform, like you said, nice diorama. And the sculpt just looks uncanny to Robert Patrick, so that's why it's my number 2.
It is a great sculpt. You know how I feel about the rest of it, but Topo came to the rescue, so
that's what I'm saying.
Soon it'll be safely nestled under my tree. Lane, moving on to you, my friend. Number 2. And like I said, Lane, we'll try to keep, you can throw in a little explanation as to why you picked it, but we're trying to keep it a little bit shorter now so we can get through our list. Go ahead, Lane, number 2. I think you're muted.
General Grievous was my number 2.
Ooh.
Because
choice,
I think just from the engineering and everything, actually make him not be a piece of garbage. And there might have been some other better looking things or other characters we care more about, but I just think he's just one of the figures you should look at saying, you can't tell me you can't do a character because you made this one real. And it works. Now whatever the poo stain on the helmet, I don't really care, honestly, that much about it. But if that's the worst thing I can say about any figure, I'm just like, whatever. The fact that the third party is going to is redoing the facial sculpt though to stick on there, that's not a bad thing. But that was my number 2.
That would have been my number 2 if I had it in hand, honestly.
See, that's how it does you dirty, man. It really does.
I'm still waiting for mine too, but I can just look at it and I know people have gotten it and posed it up and everything. So.
Yeah, that Artisan Black Widow is a popular choice, Lane. It seems like a lot of people really enjoyed that one. Like I said, I don't have mine yet, but I will. That's awesome, dude. I saw Robert Patrick. He put the T1000 in one of his Harley Davidson. I think he owns more than one. Maybe, I don't know. But he has a Harley Davidson dealership that he owns, and he has it on display in his dealership. And he did a whole video of him opening it up and everything, and it was really cool. He just seems like such a cool guy, and I've been a fan of him from...
He loves that thing.
I know. I'm a fan of him from The Terminator and The Sopranos. His character was like a little weasel in The Sopranos, had a gambling addiction. And Dave, I think his name was in The Sopranos. But, yeah. But General Grievous is a great figure, Lane. Great choice. Guys, here we go. Number 1. Number 1 for me. I don't know if this one is shocking or not, but this is one of those figures that when I opened it up, I was like, this is like almost as good as it gets in 1/6 scale right now. And not only that, but there was a particular issue with it that a lot of people complained about, including me, including Chris, and I know Lane had his thoughts on it as well when we talked about it on the stream before it was released. And at first, I wasn't sure they were going to make a change, and they did. They listened, and when I opened this figure up, I truly was like, this is insane. This is like one of the most amazing figures I've ever seen in my entire life. And that is the InArt Hermione Granger. That is my figure of the year. I could not believe how good it turned out. I was just so happy with it. The weight, the extra weight from the silicone legs that they gave her, the paint work that they did on the legs, the hair on mine is legitimately perfect. I saw some that had like 2 lightly colored roots where she has like that like heavy dip dye effect. Mine did not have that. It's just my copy's perfect. And when you put her on display and you look from afar, it's like insane how realistic it looks. It's insane how realistic it looks. So my figure of the year is the InArt Hermione Granger. And I've had that in the back of my head for the past like 6 months. I'm like waiting for something to dethrone it. And the Battle Damaged 800 almost did. But the reason I did not put it at number 1 is because it's been done before with the DX13. And obviously this is a refresh with amazing head sculpts. But it's just like Hermione is just like this new thing. And I've been waiting for good Harry Potter figures for so long. I talk to everybody about this all the time. I talk to Fig about this all the time. I'm like, I've been waiting so long for good Harry Potter figures. So that figure just blew me away, and it held that number 1 spot for me until the end. So InArt Hermione Granger is my figure of the year. Moving on to you, Fig.
Well, if I'm going to have to go my number 1 pick, you know I'm an X-Men guy. So obviously I'm going to go Jim Lee style Wolverine. Let's go. And I'm talking from the movie. Yes, sir. I've been watching Hugh Jackman since I was a young lad, you know. And let me tell you, seeing him in that suit, I mean, I enjoyed the movies from back in the day. I noticed a lot of people that were a little older than I was at the time, they really didn't enjoy those suits or even those films. But for me, that was just, I remember when I was a kid watching X-Men, the animated series. And let me tell you, I used to always be like, damn, I really wish I could see these powers being depicted in real life. Like that was always a big deal for me. And seeing it actually happen, that bar scene with Rogue when the claws were slicing through his skin, oh my God, let me just tell you, it's just legendary to me. So I'm just very thankful to have that figure, and that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, that's a great choice, and I'm sure you're proud of me at least seeing that figure on my list. And like I said, I wanted to be like, definitely. Oh, let me go against the grain because everybody's loving this figure, but I'm like, I can't. Like, it deserves. It is so good, and they did their thing with it, and it was so anticipated, and people were like, "Where's Wolverine? Where's Wolverine?" So to see that great delivery and the fact that they really did their best on it, it's special. So great choice for number 1. And, you know, Earth 616, I literally said to Fig backstage, I was like, dude, it sucks because I'm sure 100% Snape would be in my top 5 because that head sculpt is just mind-blowing. But I literally just got my shipping notification for Snape from 1/6 kit. So because of that, Hermione took that number 1 spot. But and then great choice, Pedro. I didn't know you were so into the Mondo stuff. You'd have to send me a picture of your collection. That's sick. Again, you know I love Batman the animated series and stuff, so anything Mondo you got, Batman the Anime Series, I love to take a look at it because I love BTAS, bro. All right, let's hear it, Chris. And this better be a figure that you still own. Number 1.
Of course it
figure of the year.
Well, it's not. So it's definitely not everybody's figure of the year.
It's your figure of the year. That's all that matters.
And it's crazy because I think there is stuff that qualify more over it. I only picked this because I'm biased.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, it's my favorite character of all time. Yeah.
You're the chosen one.
Yeah, I have a 1-to-1 shrine of him, and literally, when I look at it, I'm like, man, that is just one figure. I would sell everything in this room before I sold this figure. And like, if I only had to keep one, pre-order like everything, it would be this figure, and that's Artisan Anakin. Yeah. Like, and it's not even peak as far as what Hot Toys can do. It's not like you guys have racked on pleather. Like it's not even that crazy, but the fact that I love that character so much, and it is the artisan hairstyle, so you have that actual hair going on, really brings it to life for me. And also, as many Anakins as they did with Sith Apprentice, Mustafar version, whatever have you, it's the only one that has a brand new like sculpt. Like it looks different from the other ones. And it was a massive improvement over the 1.0. And so it's just never going anywhere. And I know it was number 5 for Fig there, but number 1 for me strictly because I'm just biased.
Yeah. I mean, hey, like it's whatever reason you have for it. It's your list, and it doesn't have to be for the same reason as like I picked mine, or
And
Fig picked his,
I was the first one when it was like the blogger photos came out. You know how upset I was, and you were getting so mad at me, bro.
I'm like, dude, just give it a chance.
Because
I'm like,
I knew what it could have been from that prototype. That prototype was perfect.
Or the comment feed, Valk, I can currently see it. Let me check on YouTube. Yeah, I can see the comment feed. I can currently see it. So it might be something on your end. I'm not sure.
I can see it. I have it pulled up on my.
Yeah. So Valk, you might want to refresh or maybe close your browser, reopen it. But great choice for number 1. Like I said, everybody has their own reasons for it. We have a very diverse. I'm sure you guys probably thought I was going to say Anakin for my number 1, but again, that Hermione just blew me away, and I was just so impressed that Inart listened to us and said, "Here you go. Well, you want
I
those
love the
silicone
bureau for that too, like the dresser thing.
Everything about it, I love. I love it. Crookshanks looks pretty good. Like,
yeah.
Again, the head sculpt, the
It's a great
hair.
figure.
Yeah. I have the 3 of them on the bottom. I didn't pick her on the honorable mention. I did Ron because, like I said, Ron's my favorite. But I do like that.
She's not even my favorite. I love that figure. Like I can't. And I said this before. When you think of like your favorite figures of the year, you got it. And like you said it. You look at that Anakin all the time. I look at that Hermione. I'm like, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get shit done. You're like the Punisher. But
you're doing all this.
Anthony in the house. What's up, my dude? Anthony says, "Hey, what's up, dude? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope you're healthy and good in this happy New Year. Everybody. That's what I wish in everybody in the New Year. We all have our resolutions, but number 1 thing that you should want in the New Year is health." Happiness and health. That's what you should wish for. But good to see you, my friend. Lane, we're moving on to you, dude. Number 1.
Mine was Darth Maul 2.0.
Darth Maul. Okay, damn. So I feel left out now. I'm the only one that didn't put Darth Maul on the list. But,
no, that was my favorite. I think just the posability, how that figure came out. I only got the regular edition because I didn't care about the Sith Speeder. And I hate the diamond bases maybe more than any base that like has almost ever been. But I also recognize
they gave him a smaller base.
Yeah, but I recognize with the light up features for that version as well and everything. I just think the cloak is amazing. I think both head sculpts are great. Like that is Darth Maul. That is Ray Park Darth Maul brought to life as a mini me format.
I'm shocked Connor didn't even have Star Wars on his list, bro.
There he is. Look,
as much as you select every single.
Well, you got to think, but remember, he's big roller, Connor, so he's got lots of in-art and other stuff like that.
Every single Star Wars there is out there.
I mean, he's having to move by truck a lot of his MCU stuff out so that he can make room for the megaton of stuff.
Look.
It could be the comb from the deserts of Tatooine, and he would buy it.
Yeah, he's got to comb the desert and ain't found Jack Booty.
Look, here's the thing, right? The Star Wars, from Hot Toys, Star Wars has usually been very consistent. And when I was looking at my stuff, and I've said this so many times, what was Hot Toys? How did they surprise us this last year? And they surprised us by giving us unique stuff, 80s stuff again. Yeah. So, like, Star Wars, I know that they're going to continue to look like
legend stuff.
Anthony, you can attest to this, dude. All of the 80s shit that we got last year from Hot Toys, Robo Kane, Terminator, like Batman. T800s, T1000, 2 Keaton figures. Like, dude, like
Yeah.
how long have we been asking for new stuff for that? So because of that, I'm like, we know we're going to continue to get good Star Wars stuff. And I'm like, I got to highlight the unique stuff that we've been asking for so long.
Ooh.
But I'm glad to hear you're feeling better, dude. I'm glad to hear. I'm really glad to hear that.
That sounds like excuse time. That's all I heard.
Hey, listen, did I talk to any of you guys about your list negatively? I don't think so. So this is my list.
Yes, but this is like a Star Wars channel. Like, you remember when this started, it was like Star Wars all the time.
What I might have a mismatch of random shit on my desk right now that I have to move downstairs, but I have Star Wars all behind me. I got, the Razor Crest.
And he's just spent this year basically betraying the legacy of George Lucas.
Get your little crooked finger off of the screen. And OG
Boo
fan,
this man.
OG fan, you should be on my side. I have every Sideshow Scum and Villainy figure that's been released thus far right here, dude. That should make you proud specifically. That's what, Joey, they're about to boo me out of the hobby, dude. I'm moving on to 112. Screw them, man. I've already started. I've got the Death Star Supervisor right here on my desk. That's it. I'm moving on, bro. I'm done. I got the InArt Batman on my desk. I'm moving on, bro.
So you're saying you're all your pre-orders now 2026 to 2027.
Yeah, I'm going to LPZZ and InArt 112.
Or just 112.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm moving on to. But guys, those are our
one
lists.
request though.
Sure.
One request. Can we please rapid fire the announcement list? No explanation.
Yes. That's
no,
what
that's rapid fire.
That was the plan. So I'm gonna do mine. Here, let me change my little. But yes, that was my plan. I figured we didn't need explanations for those because nothing's been released or. That's not it. That's really old.
They all speak for themselves. If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So my list for most anticipated, I have 2 honorable mentions: the Ekuez Captain Barbosa, and the Ekuez Captain Salazar. 2 Pirates of the Caribbean figures that I never thought would be made to that quality and that extent. Like, dude, Captain Salazar, I never thought anybody would even attempt a figure of him. And I said for so long, I thought he was an underrated character in Pirates. But, dude, it's Javier Bardem. He is, like, one of my favorite actors, and he's one of the best actors alive right now, in my opinion. Like, No Country for Old Men, dude. Like, Anton Chigurh is just an insane, complex character. So those 2. For my top 5 most anticipated 1/6 scales, the main list, I got number 5, the Hot Toys Robo-Cane. You guys know I'm a big RoboCop fan, and that thing is massive and insanely engineered. Darth Vader, there you go. There's some Star Wars Darth Vader on the operating table from Revenge of the Sith. Number 3, InArt Daryl Dixon, one of the most realistic-looking 1/6 scale figures I've ever seen. Number 2, Hot Toys Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze, a figure that I've wanted forever. And then number 1, my most anticipated figure, Hot Toys Deck and Thea from Predator Badlands. I lost my mind when those figures were announced, so that is my 7 most anticipated figures right now. Of course, I have many more, but Fig, moving on to you. What's your list?
That's a good list, bro. All right, let me get to it. I'm gonna say for honorable mentions, Wonder Woman from InArt. Right, I'm gonna go Wonder Woman InArt, right, and then I'm gonna go Daredevil.
All right.
That's a good list.
So I'm
the,
just yeah.
So the Born Again Daredevil.
Facts. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Daredevil's another favorite of mine, and even though it doesn't have the double D's, just the red outfit, it looked like a wired batons, and he has the full connected one. I'm just a fan of that. I'm just a fan of Daredevil in general, so I'm glad to have it. Yeah. And now working down to my top 5, we're gonna start with Jar Jar Binks. Yes, I am trying to build.
That's a surprising one, but I'm getting that one myself. That is surprising to me, but
yeah, I'm a fan of Menace guy, and that put out a glimmer of hope that they're gonna continue down that line, even though they're slow strolling the hell out of it. But Jar Jar Binks is number 5.
Also, seeing Ahmed Best playing around with it and getting able to see it in person and stuff was really cool. I really like that.
Yeah, who doesn't love the actors messing with their figures? I love it.
I know,
right?
Me too. Yeah.
Number 4, we're gonna go InArt Catwoman.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a beautiful figure. They did their thing. I'm glad they made those final refinements to make it as good as it should have been from the start. and I'm all in on that. I strongly avoided the Hot Toys version, knowing a better version will come around at some point. So I'm so glad that it is, and I'm all in on that. Moving forward, number 3, we're gonna go Vader on table. Um, yeah, I'm really excited about that one. That actually isn't gonna be a part of my the prequels trilogy. I'm actually gonna create a Vader slash Anakin shrine, and that's gonna be right in the center of it. Just and I'm not gonna have him masked up. I'm gonna have the droids lowering the mask
Yes,
towards his
100%.
face.
100%. That's how
So
I'm
I
doing
can't
mine.
wait to get that heavy purchase. Number 2 is gonna be Bank Robber Joker.
Dude, I almost put that on my list, dude. I was so close.
Yes, I got to do it because I have I mean, they're giving you 2 sculpts, so really you can do so many creative things with the clean sculpt, without unmasked sculpt. I mean, and you could put that on the artisan Joker. You could flip it around elsewhere. I mean, I'm just I'm a big Joker guy. Dark Knight was probably one of my favorite films of all time, so I'm glad about that. That got made, and the sculpt is better than the artisan, so I'm happy about that. Number 1, which probably is weird and strange for a lot of people to hear it, but Scarecrow. I'm gonna go Scarecrow.
I'm excited for that one too. It looks great.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
I mean, Batman Begins also needs more love. We need a Ra's al Ghul. We need another Begin suit that actually has effort to it. So I'm going all the way in, and I'm happy to see it because it's kind of like the Jar Jar Binks situation. They're just throwing out a little rope for you to give you hope. So
Yeah.
and it looks good. So I'm all in.
Yeah, I agree. And we haven't printed a retraction in years. I need to print a retraction on my list because I cannot believe
Uh-oh.
I cannot believe I did not put Frankenstein on my list. So I'm gonna have
Ooh.
realistically, if I could go back, I would bump someone off and put Frankenstein on. I can't believe I forgot about that. For some reason in my head, I'm like, oh, I can't put the Crow because that hasn't gone on for pre-order yet. Like, Tim, you just put me in my place, bro. I should have remembered to put Frankenstein. That's crazy. But yeah, dude, great list, and everything that you just mentioned, I have on pre-order. So obviously, I agree with it. But
Yes, sir.
Chris, moving on. What is your list of most anticipated figures coming up?
So, if Jareth from Labyrinth was at pre-order yet, probably be on there. But honorable mentions, Jar Jar. uh, it didn't quite make the list, but I am excited for that figure. And Mustafar Vader. I got both, whether it's artisan or the regular. I will say I like the base from the sculpted version a bit more though.
Yeah, 100%.
And the hair fringe thing, whatever. Starting out, number 5, the DeLorean. May not be fair, but it is kind of a figure. It's 1/6 scale, but it's
No.
it's its own thing.
Chris,
In a way.
hold on one second.
It is a character.
So I just want to point your attention down below what's scrolling across. It says our most anticipated figure releases.
Gotcha.
Fig Poster's the
So-
only one that stuck to the protocol, so thank you, Fig. Go ahead. We'll allow it since you.
And I
you
just
already-
justify it is technically a figure. You don't have the movie without that character. So
Does it talk? Now let me stop
Yeah.
it. Let me stop.
yeah, but does it talk though?
Tim, I did, Tim. I straight up forgot it. I can't believe that. It's unbelievable.
We'll replace it endoskeleton then.
Okay,
Whatever,
thank you.
something,
Apologize.
whatever. Anyways, 4 Frank Duke, baby.
Oh, yeah,
Blood
Frank
Sport,
Dukes is a
bro.
good one.
Another movie
That looks
grew up
good.
on watching
Kumate.
way too much.
Kumate.
Yeah, I love martial arts.
I'm waiting for that Chung Lee figure, dude. He said that they're on board. They're doing it. It got approved, I guess. So waiting for that to be announced.
Number 3, another go. If Steve's still in here, Attack of the Clones Obi. I know it's not like the best looking thing at the moment. Like there was some controversy with it, but I'm super excited. Wanted that figure because we need Obi-Wans to go with the Anakin. Number 2, In Art Negan. Put him over Rick because I love Negan more. I do love Rick. Got them both, but Negan is like the villain, the guy. I love his comedic relief, and when he came on screen, bashed Glenn's head in. Yeah, it goes without saying. And then number one, of course, if Anakin was my number one on the other list, I made Table Vader number one on this list because that's him going into the suit, becoming the most badass villain in all of the Star Wars universe. So have to have that.
So 3 of us so far have had the table on our list. So Lane, hopefully you don't break our streak, which I have a feeling you're going to because you're Lane. He's got
Dude, I
the smile.
dreamed about that figure being released, and then they actually did it.
Yeah. OG fan, appreciate you. 24 months, 2 years as a Hotline Hottie. That's really when it first opened. And he said, you do make me proud. That stash makes the 80s proud. Keep up the good work. Happy New Year. Am I getting, like, I'm just catching strays tonight, bro. I know OG means well. Thank you, OG. I appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, Table Vader is fire, dude. And then, like, we got the
Tom Selleck.
Okay, that's fucking wild, bro.
Does any figure really talk, though?
Meanwhile, we got the dude from Scary Movie over here. Like, what? Remember the scene? Is it me you're looking for? I could see it in your eyes. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Let me stop. I'm disrespecting you. I'm sorry. The collector says, "What's your most wanted creature or vehicle?" Blitzway DeLorean.
See,
Blitzway DeLorean for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's
all
not
the
a-
sound it makes, the lights, bro. Come on.
It's not a figure, dude. You literally said it was a
is.
character at one point. You
Yeah.
heard that
Bro,
right?
it
He's
is
like,
you.
"Look,
That
character."
movie doesn't exist without the vehicle.
Mine is Kit.
Crash Out 2026.
Lane, let's go into you. Your most anticipated.
I'm about to
figure.
go
Well,
track
I'm cutting mine short here because I'm just gonna mention ones people have not already mentioned.
Okay, that's fair.
So Darth Malgus and Darth Sidious, I had them top. I couldn't decide between either one of
Yeah,
them. But
Malgus
that's
is gonna be sick, dude. I can't
just
wait for that.
because they're going so deep into everything, and he's monstrous. So, and Sidious is, for most people, I know, like for you, it's the ultimate Sidious for them because you get basically barbecue face and normal face barbecue Palpatine. Also, I had Red Hulk because it's a Hulk. We don't get Hulk, giant ass Hulk, even though it may not be Banner Hulk. Now that may change with Spider-Man next year, but this is for 2025 announcement. So, I'm getting Red Hulk just because it's a Hulk, and it's an angry. Feels like Harrison Ford feels about Han Solo, so it fits. And then my top one is Harley Quinn, Suicide Squad 2.0. I cannot wait. I love Margot Robbie Harley Quinn. I own like 3 different versions of her in various skies and scale, and I cannot wait for that artisan figure. It is the most anticipated one I have. New Silicon Valley.
Yeah, and that's like the one that a lot of us originally wanted, and then
I'm my current one, the Suicide Squad
the
one.
James Gunn version.
Yeah, because it's been delayed. I'm up now. I have to decide if I want to keep it or I cancel it and get my money back. I'm on the clock, as they would say. But I did I'll mention that I did have also RoboCame, because that thing, I just can't believe they're doing that monstrosity of a design as a figure. And then Revenge of the Sith Vader, because whether it's the one, I'm getting one not with the table because I want an actual face for the figure to stand on. It has my favorite diorama base that Hot Toys has ever made. But that's my list. I didn't have really any, ones that were honorable mentions.
That's fair. Great choices, dude. And yeah, like Joey is saying, I forgot about Malgus too. Malgus is going to be such a beast, dude. I actually ordered 2 of those because that cinematic of Malgus, like our first introduction to Malgus and SWTOR, and we see that cinematic, dude.
I think the big thing is too, even if you don't care about Malgus super much, he's coming with that same base that
tilts and
stuff. The battle damage Vader came with, and I think that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Now, for a guy who's 14 inches or 15 inches tall already, I don't know if you want that sticking in the detail, but
Yep. Well, guys, those are some great lists. And guys, if you're watching on the replay, I hope you enjoyed it. It's probably really good in that format because you could just kind of skip through quickly as you want to. But now, guys, I think it's finally time we're gonna call the winners. So
Me
guys,
neither,
just a
that's all I
reminder.
know.
You did what?
So
Let's
don't make
go.
me use that song.
Okay, we're we're gonna call the giveaway winners, guys. Just a reminder, you had to have commented by Monday at 11:59 p.m. EST yesterday to
Can I
enter
comment
for
now?
this one. No, you cannot because I've already got all the names in the wheel. So
Just
this
all
first
names.
giveaway, guys, this is for anyone who commented was able to enter. And I will say this: unless the person is here and they immediately call it out and say, "Hey, it's me, I'm here." If they're not, I will roll a second one just in case that first person doesn't get back to me. So this first giveaway drawing is for the Kenobi 501st Trooper, courtesy of Lane, both of these figures. Again, the Kenobi 501st is for non-channel members and really anybody who wants to enter. Everybody who is currently a channel member, if you joined during the stream, I did add you. Anybody who's currently a channel member is entered with the Endgame Iron Pager. That is now cut off, though. So if you guys win, again, please speak out. If not, I will. If someone had dropped out, I'll make sure that I get a hold of you. So
I'm speaking out.
Shout outs to Lane, man.
Yeah, Lane is
I know.
guys.
Right here.
We've said this so
Santa
many
Kramer.
times. We call him
Don't
Santa
call
Kramer.
me that, please.
Well, Lane, I don't know if you know this, but the phrase for the giveaway was actually "Thank you, Santa Kramer," because
Oh,
you are Santa Kramer, Lane. You are making Christmas dreams come true for people,
Yeah.
and we appreciate you for that, Lane.
and so this is first, since we're doing the 501st.
Yep,
It's all boxed up and ready to be shipped out.
yep. So Lane is ready to go. Lane was really excited to do this giveaway, and he wanted to
Hey,
do it because
I don't
he
see my name on there.
you didn't comment on the post, so.
I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Are you being
That's
serious?
Sure.
Okay, so because I went through the
So
comments. Anyways, Lane wanted to do this giveaway because his idea was he just wanted to give back for the holidays, like in the season of giving, and it was very kind of him to do so. Again, from the bottom of my heart, Lane, I very much appreciate your generosity. Again, guys, this is only for those who are in the continental U.S. because international shipping is crazy, and Lane's already given away a whole figure. So if you do win this and you're overseas, unfortunately, we will have to skip you. So just keep that in mind. We do give away sometimes that work out for international, but for this one specifically, those are the rules we set. So without further ado, let's go. Now, again, if this person's here, speak up, say I'm here, and we'll get in contact with you and figure it out. If you're not here, I'm going to roll a second time. Look at that. Ryan, the collector, and I know he's here.
He was here.
Ryan, you just won a Kenobi 501st Trooper. How do you feel? I hand him the mic.
Well,
Damn, that was a quick spin.
Big Rib says
Yeah.
he doesn't see his name.
uh-oh.
So let me see, Big Rib. Let me double check because I pulled the YouTube. I used like the YouTube comment puller and I pulled every comment from the video that said this specific phrase. You are definitely on the channel member giveaway because I know for a fact you're on there. Did you comment on this stream the phrase? Let me see. Let me see.
Now I want some ribs.
Big Rib, I'm not seeing a comment from you on the video. Again, I typed in the phrase on this comment picker and pulled it out from there, and then I just double checked on the comments. I'm not seeing you, so I don't know if your comment is like showing as hidden, but on my end and from the comment picker website, it's not showing you. So I don't know what happened there. I'm not sure, but it's not showing for me. But I will say for sure, and you'll see it when I pull up the list, you're 100% on our list here for the channel members. So I'm going to pull that up now, guys. Next, this giveaway, and we'll do a shuffle here just to be fair. Let's see. Big Rib, there you are.
Either.
Chris, shut up. This is for, guys, this is for the diecast Endgame Iron Patriot, the good Iron Patriot.
This
is the good
thing
one.
is heavy as hell.
Yeah, it's a big boy. This is for the good one. This is for all the marbles. Again, big shout out to Lane. Thank you so much, guys. And this is for, again, same case. If you're a channel member and you're not here, I will do my effort to contact them if they're not here, but I will roll a second one in the off chance that they don't respond.
You
to
should
me
have
in a
pulled
certain
this
amount
when
of
I
time.
was a member.
Well, I did say you had to be a channel member by the time of the drawing, so sorry, Chris. Here we go. This is for, and Big Rib, maybe, I'll tell you
Lane's
this.
fault.
I'll tell you this. Big Rib has insane luck, so I would not be surprised if Big Rib won this one. Let's see if he can make it a three-peat.
You just jinxed him.
I might not have. I might have given him the extra Hot Toys Hotline look. No freaking way, dude.
Mike.
Wow. Wow, that is crazy.
Wow.
Comment.
Well, I
He's
know
here
that
in
Mike.
spirit.
I know that Mike is not. I know that Mike will respond to me, but in the chance of fairness, I did say if they're not here, I will run it a second time. In the off chance they don't respond, Mike will respond to me. But let's just see who will be the runner-up in case Mike, for some reason, does not get back to me.
Or change his mind. Or...
True, or if he's like, I want to pass on to someone else. If whatever Mike decides to do.
Oh, Moose! Is it
Look at
Moose?
that. Oh my
Dude,
dude!
no, dang, Moose got robbed.
Moose got robbed. Well, congrats, Adam. That's, of course, Adam, that is if Mike does not respond, which I'm sure he will. But, wow, Moose, you got... wow. That is diabolical, Moose,
Damn,
what just
Moose.
happened there.
Is Adam even in here? Either? I don't think
He
I've
was,
seen him
he
tonight
was earlier.
either.
He was earlier.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
guys, that is the giveaway. And look, guys, if you didn't win, don't worry about it. We're going to figure out giveaways as often as we can. I'm going to try to do better about doing more because, you know, Lane is carrying us on the giveaways right now, truly. And it's all out of the kindness of his heart. And again, Lane, I just want to thank you. And I know you don't need the thanks, but you are the most generous person I know. And you're going to make 2 collectors very, very happy. So we appreciate you. And congrats, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being a channel member. Thank you, everybody who entered the giveaway. Thank you for being here.
3 hours, man.
Almost 3 hours. This is the longest stream you're going to see for us in quite some time, but it was a special one. You know, we wanted to do it up big for since we missed our end of 2025 stream. So I had a blast.
It's a cool thing.
Right, and I loved hearing everybody's list.
I enjoyed every minute.
Me too, dude, and I appreciate y'all for being here. Yes, he is. And Big Rib, what did you just win? Big Rib, I think you just won something again, right? Big Rib, we need to talk, bro. I need to like come like shake your hand or something so I can get some of your luck, bro. Like. He is. Lane.
You don't need any more. You have plenty.
Lane is the figure here. No, I don't. I don't have any figures.
All the
man.
deals you tell me.
I'm struggling out here, dude.
Tell me your statue story, pal.
Meanwhile, you said that the DeLorean was a figure and a character. So who are we gonna trust? Not
It is
Deluxe Wolverine. Look at that, dude.
Don't
That
watch
is
Back to the Future without
that is
the
a great prize.
DeLorean. I'd like to see you do that. That's
Valk,
it.
thank you so much. Valk says heat stream, Connor. Guys, I hope you and I appreciate it, Valk. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat.
We probably will need from you though. We're gonna need a special stream watching you unbox and put together that Darth Vader diorama from PCS.
Maybe I can make that happen, Lane. You know I don't buy statues very often. This is currently my only statue, so who knows how stressed out I'll be with these massive boxes. But maybe we can figure that out. We'll see. We'll see.
I think people would eat that up, and everybody's going to accuse you of going. You're no longer a 6-scale man. You're going to statues, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, definitely not. I do have 2 other statues on pre-order. You know, the Anakin and Obi-Wan from Blitzway. I've had those on pre-order forever. They're kind of like posable statues.
There seem to be like Blitzway's releases in the abyss right now.
Yep, and they haven't announced anything new, which is a good thing, so I can just focus on those 2. But thank you so much, everybody. You guys are too kind. I appreciate you. Yes, dude. Steve's always giving stuff away. He makes us look like chumps. Yeah, I need to get some more figures. You know, Lane's carrying the shit out of us. But thank you again, Lane. Thank you, everybody, for being here, each and every one of you. As always, if I missed any of your comments or anything, I do apologize, but we had a lot going on. Okay, see, don't encourage him, Joey. Don't encourage him.
Technically, as Solo told us, that droid's consciousness is inside the Millennium Falcon. So
yeah,
see,
he's not.
Well, the DeLorean doesn't have a droid inside of it. It's powered by flux capacitor.
So for Disney era Star Wars, they're not off there.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Joe. Again, I do appreciate it, and I appreciate
Lego
Val
Star
and everybody
Wars.
else.
You can play as the Falcon.
Okay, guys. Well, we're ending the stream there before this gets out of hand. Thank you so much, everybody, for sticking with us for 3 hours. Please drop a like on your way out. I appreciate it. And then enjoy the replay. And again, big shout out to Lane and everybody who entered the giveaway. And we will be in contact with you. And I'm sure Mike will be jumping for joy because I know Mike loves his Marvel stuff. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time. And thank you so much, Big Rib. I appreciate you, my friend. Take care, everybody, and we will see you hopefully next Tuesday at 7 p.m. EST, unless something happens. But yes, we could celebrate today because the Ravens fired John Harbaugh, and Kathleen Kennedy seems to be officially out the door, so we can celebrate for that. Star Wars.
Big dog pound, go Birds!
Oh yeah, hey, and the Doomsday X-Men trailer. Let's go.
Yes, sir. That was as we get closer, dude, the more and more we see of the classic X-Men, it gets exciting for sure. Appreciate you guys. Thanks everybody once again. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Happy New Year, everybody.
Take care, everybody.